Yo, here we go. God, we got planes flying above and annoying the shit out of me on top of everything else. How's everybody doing today? Another fucking day in hell. Everyone is broken, homeless, or is about to be really soon. Meanwhile, government always wasting money. Parasite. You got the government as the parasite class. It's the parasite class. Go ahead and strap in, buckle in. Grab a cup of Joe, smoke a bowl, do a dab. Don't choke on your coffee. To this fucking day, I still cannot breathe coffee. Shout out to everybody in the chat today. Many blessings to you, my friends. Thank you for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. After all, I'm quite the interesting person. There is no other like me or you. Very interesting perspectives, super intelligent perspectives. If you want to understand super intelligent perspectives, then you will have to come to this channel. Not many people in the world understand what many of us in this chat understand. Not many of us were able to do the research like I had been able to do and make these game-changing, normal agenda debunking discoveries. My documentary, When the Buildings Cried, is over 8 hours long of evidence proving that there was a highly advanced civilization living here for ages, thousands of years. And the evidence shows they just got wiped out around 500 years ago. Between 400 and 500 years ago. This incredible civilization was here for thousands of years and just got wiped out. You call them ancient. They were highly advanced and they just got wiped out. They're not ancient at all. And a new post-apocalyptic history started over. That's why you only have everything happening like 150 years ago. Everything's discovered at one time. There's no real history after that. It's all bullshit. This is why. Everybody had to start over, and then the survivors sent out their Freemasons to acquire all of the infrastructure everywhere and start taking it over, and with this idea of governments to control everybody. They started right away with this idea of, first they used religion or royalty, and then they used religion, and then they used government, and then now they're using corporations, oligarchs, and AI. So surveillance systems, mass surveillance systems are what these small group of oligarchs in the world want to do to maintain power and control the world easier. See, because to this group, they're not happy with everybody in the world happy. They want to just rule and dominate and dictate the world. They're special, They're chosen and all this shit. Crazy mental illness everywhere. They can get people to believe the craziest shit. You can get them to do the craziest things. You can get them to believe crazy shit. You can get them to do crazy shit, right? What's up, Thomas? Dude, thank you, brother. Yeah, I got the tax thing today, bro. And you know what? These fuckers want to reevaluate the taxes on this place in 2028 so they can raise the taxes, bro. They already want to raise the taxes here because they're barely reasonable as it is right now because I'm so broke. I got to catch up on them. And I got the new tax bill for this year due September again. And yeah, they want to raise it. But this property tax shit is so criminal and illegal. I want to kill everybody in government right now. I mean, I swear. Yeah. Yeah, well, I need to fucking technically put the shit in my name and all that shit. Fuck, I don't even have a fucking North Carolina driver's license. Man, you know what I mean? Fuck, bro. Crazy. Yeah, it's mind boggling, bro. It literally is mind boggling, dude. That's exactly what I'm talking about, dude. That's government right there. Government's the pedophile, and I'm the young boy that they want to pedophile. You see what I'm saying? That's government trying to pedophile me. So yeah, it's really annoying. But yeah, my documentary proves that there was a highly advanced civilization here. And it proves they've got wiped out recently, and you know, by electricity from below. And it explained why you had a flood because all the water went up into a vapor gas because the electricity was the byproduct was heat melting all the bricks and everything. If it was, and it was clearly melting bricks all over the world, these buildings and concrete, like butter, by the way, meaning all of the water turned to a gas. As soon as the heat subsided, it went back into a liquid and flooded everywhere 40 days and 40 nights in some areas, ocean sized bodies, lake sized bodies falling at one time in other areas because of the temperature differences. And so that's why you have melted buildings under water. So let's see the three things: highly advanced civilization, they got wiped out all at one time in one event, and it was recently. And all mountains are melted buildings. They're not a natural phenomenon. There's no such thing as plate tectonics. None of that shit exists. You're not on a goddamn ball spinning through space. You're in a realm. You're in our collective mind. Mind you, our lower mind right now, but still our mind. Because if you even break down everything around here, everybody in the old world acknowledged that we were in our mind. Almost every goddamn word they said. They acknowledged we're under a dome. Almost every word they said. Free dome, king dome, wisdom, because we're under a dome. And then you would have entertainment, firmament, establishment. Ment is the Latin root word for mind. So we were acknowledging in our words that we are in our mind under a dome. It's in the fucking words. You can't hide it, man. It's nuts. So watch my free documentary below. It's free because uh, what do I get out of it? Hopefully a better world, some people more informed of the truth of what really happened here and not all the lies. You're not gonna believe you on a ball flying through space evolved from an ape. This is some crazy shit they want you to believe, folks. It's actually mentally ill, totally mentally ill. The shit they want you to believe. Let's see. Let me look at something. Okay, here we go. The past was erased. The erasure was forgotten. The lie became true. George Orwell. The Fable of the Ducks and the Hens. Written by George Lincoln Rockwell. Directed by
Many, many years ago, when animals could speak, a wondrous
Remember when animals could speak? Yeah.
thing the ducks befell. Their tale is quite unique. Down by a pond dwelt all these ducks, 10,000 at least. Their duckish joys were undisturbed by any man or beast. One day down near the entrance gate, there was an awful din. 100 hens, all out of breath, were begging to come in.
Oh, let us in!
These poor birds cried.
Before we do expire! 'Tis only by the merest inch that we escaped the fire!
Their feathers burned, their combs a-droop. They were the saddest sight. They'd run 100 miles or more, all day and then all night.
Come in, come in!
The ducks all quacked.
For you our hearts do bleed. We'll share our happy lot with you. Just tell us what you need.
And so these poor bedraggled hens amongst the ducks moved in.
For after all,
The ducks declared,
we're sisters beneath the skin.
before too many months had lapsed, the hens were good as new. They sent for all their rooster friends, and those were welcomed too. To please their hosts, these chickens tried to waddle and to quack, to simulate the duckish ways. They quickly learned the knack. This pleased the flock of ducks because it gratified their pride. But hear my tale and learn how they got taken for a ride. The ducks, it seemed, spent all their time in fixing up the place, in growing food and building homes, and cleaning every space. They asked the hens what they would do to earn their daily bread.
We'll teach and write and entertain and buy and sell.
They said. And so these hens began to teach the baby ducks and chicks. They traded food and eggs and things with many clever tricks. They wrote great books and put on shows of genius they'd no lack. It wasn't long till chickens owned the duck-filled daily quack. One day, a mother duck who took her ducklings to the lake was flabbergasted when one said,
A swim I will not take.
Why? Ducklings always swim.
She gasped.
It's what you're built to do. Like bunnies hop, and crickets chirp, and cows most always.
You are nuts.
Her son replied,
That stuff is all old hat. It's wrong for birds to swim. Besides, it's damn cold on my pack.
Oh, fine.
the mother duck exclaimed.
You're talking like a fool.
Up quacked the other ducklings then.
He's right. We learned in school.
Such things must stop.
The mother cried.
Those hens can't tell such lies. For sheer ingratitude and nerve, this surely takes the prize.
But she was wrong, for even then, the hens did thump the tub, demanding they be let into the Duckville Swimming Club.
But you don't swim.
The ducks exclaimed.
To join, why should you care? That's not the point!
The hens replied.
To exclude us isn't fair.
The younger ducks who'd been to school agreed right there and then.
To keep them out is bigotry. 'Twould just be anti-hen.
Outnumbered by the younger ducks, the old ducks soon did lose. The hens could join the swimming club if they would pay the dues. That night,
Don't tell me it's goddamn echoing, because let me tell you something. It has the echo cancellation on, man. What are you talking about? Why is it doing this? Hello. Oh, it's on the wrong fucking mic. And it's on the wrong hold on, man. Where's that? Okay, I got that fixed. Okay. Now the microphone's not showing up, and that's really fucking stupid. That's annoying, okay? Microphone's a piece of shit. I really don't understand. It's like, why do they all do this shit? Man, bro. No, it's not picking up my other mic. I don't know. Can you guys hear me at all on this mic? Yo, can you guys hear me on this mic right here? Just looking at the camera. How the fuck is the echo back, bro? Oh my god, bro. No, it's not gonna pick up. Fuck. Can you hear me at least? No, it won't pick up my camera, you fucking piece of shit. This is fucking junk, bro. Everything here is dog shit in this place. It's fucking cursed. I don't know why this fucking thing isn't working. Just do your fucking job. Do your fucking job. Fuck that. The audio is working. Yeah, I can't get the fucking camera to work. Dude, what the shit? Oh, man. Why, man? Why? Why, you fucking piece of shit? Why don't you do your fucking job? Huh? I don't fucking get it. It's this fucking piece of shit, man. Piece of shit USB port, bro. I can't get no fucking quality anything. Everything in this place is cursed. Fucking cursed, man. I don't know how it worked, but it's fucking working. It's a cursed piece of shit. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna try this shit again. Because hold up. Let me try another video first. Here, let me try this one.
Hey, y'all. My name is Dr. Vietrin. I'm a professor at Ohio State University. At the Ohio State University, my areas of expertise include crime, surveillance, and policing. I've been doing this research for 14 years now, first at the University of California, and then at Yale, and now in Columbus. It is my professional opinion that FLoC is a dystopian violation of our rights. And what I mean by that is that it inverts the very nature of how police are supposed to function. So in traditional investigations, a crime is supposed to happen first, and then detectives are supposed to identify a list of plausible suspects, and then those suspects are placed under investigation. But under FLoC, we are all, everybody in this room, every day, every time we get into our cars, we are all under investigation at all times for all crimes. Then when a crime actually does occur, the police have a list of pre-investigated suspects. That's you, that's me, that's everybody in this room who gets in a car, that's everybody in this city. So today in Columbus, our constitutional rights, especially our Fourth Amendment rights, are flagrantly violated every single day as a matter of regular government policy. Let me phrase this another way. Today I've heard a lot in these chambers about investigating crimes. I've heard that a lot. FLoC lets us investigate crimes, FLoC lets us prevent crimes. But it's my position that this is actually a misnomer. Despite what others have said here, FLoC does not investigate crimes at all. It is not a tool for investigating crimes. And that misnomer has apparently bamboozled several people in this room. FLoC is, at its very foundation, a tool for investigating pre-crimes.
Pre-crime.
Not crimes, but pre-crimes. So others in this room have implied that we can reform FLoC, we can have FLoC and preserve our civil liberties. We can make this technology work for us. We just need to install more safeguards. We just need to install more protections. We just need guardrails that will prevent abusers from stalking their ex-girlfriends. Yet the very nature of this technology, that is the technology as a tool for investigating pre-crime, categorically precludes that. This is not a technology that can be reformed or regulated or managed. It is not a technology that can be made righteous. On this matter, we cannot and we can never have our cake and eat it too. To believe otherwise,
I will fucking kill every one of you fucking cops and pedophile politicians for this. You all got to die for this. You're all automatically pedophiles for wanting to fucking pervertedly stalk everybody. You're automatically, every cop in the government is automatically a pedophile for this. Automatically.
To believe otherwise is hubris. And to be frank, I have seen a baffling amount of hubris in these chambers today. Howdy, y'all. My name is Dr. Vietrin.
Were you guys, are you guys able to see and hear that? That's the question there. Did that echo a lot? Did that echo a lot? Were you able to hear that? Were you able to hear that? Did that echo okay?
I mean, was there an echo on that? Were you able to hear that young guy? He was doing a great job there, killing it. Could you hear him? It's all good now. I fixed it again. Hopefully. Well, you know what happened is that StreamYard goes in there and changes everything up. I don't understand it. I don't understand why it can't keep my setting on the fucking come out of the TV for the sound and come out of the microphone for the goddamn fucking microphone. Why do you change it, man? Makes no sense, man. Baffling amount of hubris in here. Yeah, he did a great job there.
As a Marine who has been deployed to foreign lands and based on ships and so on and so forth, it's in the hundreds. I believe the numbers are in the hundreds and possibly even 1,000. And if they're not those numbers yet, they're going to be much bigger than those numbers. Aloha from Tehran. You know, I just wanted to share some thoughts here. Number one, I know that they're lying about the death count of American service members. There is no doubt of this. The figures of Americans now dead, it's impossible to know the actual number, but my guess is based on empirical evidence, eyewitness accounts.
Thousands of Americans, U.S. soldiers, are dead right now, all for no reason other than Trump wanted to help pedophile Israel, a state that is a war criminal and wanted for war crimes of genocide.
Military experts and just an overall understanding developed as a Marine who has been deployed to foreign lands and based on ships and so on and so forth.
Again, the U.S. soldiers didn't even die for any valid valor at all. They died for genocidal pedophiles in Israel, and they died for a pedophile president and a genocidal pedophile Netanyahu. Like cannon fodder. Like, yeah, when they say cannon fodder, they're just cannon fodder to these rich people. They can't even identify with you broke, fucking dumb retards that don't have any money.
It's in the hundreds. I believe the numbers are in the hundreds and possibly even 1,000.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this guy's kind of an idiot because it's definitely in the thousands. What a fucking idiot.
And if they're not those numbers yet, they're going to be much bigger than those numbers. So this is number one. You know, I burned my passport in Baghdad 22 years ago with a sign saying, support your troops. Bring them home now. Why would I do that if I hate America? I don't want you to die for the Jewish state of Israel.
Yeah.
And the fact that many Americans are learning to dislike the Jewish state, I'm telling you one more thing that none of the experts, even the ones that I respect massively, honestly, many good commentators are all getting it wrong on this one thing that they're not telling you. These policies being carried out by Donald J. Trump, these policies are not the folly of a narcissistic, horrendous, horrible, ghastly representative of America known as Donald Trump. It isn't that he is the egotistical narcissist on steroids that is behind the insanity and stupidity and the cannon fodder reality of sacrificing American sons, mostly, but daughters as well. Here's the truth. It isn't him or his delusions or his ignorance or any of that. It is because the chosen ones have decided long ago that once America served its purpose as a goyim slave state, that after America was done serving its purpose to die for the chosen ones, that then America, your beloved America, would have to be sacrificed. Yes, your nation is being bled dry, flushed down the toilet, purposely, willfully, so that Pax Americana can be replaced by Pax Judaica, Greater Israel. I have been saying this for decades, but now it's reality. So just know that as the entire economy of the world sits on the precipice of a cliff and falls off the edge, resulting in the death of millions, tens of millions, literally, willfully, chosen by the chosen ones, they will die of starvation and related diseases from the lack of clean drinking water, the ability to grow food, and all of the things that will come from this 1929 crash on steroids. Here in 2026, the chosen ones own Donald J. Trump and my birth nation, and they are setting it alight and setting us the stage for a civil war and anarchy. Here is my advice to you, America, since you did not listen for all this time that I have been shouting from the rooftops. Maintain the republic. Maintain the Constitution. Arrest the traitors now. And
God, it's frightening. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Constitution, government, it can't exist, you fucking shit stain. God, dude, he's the enemy too, bro. Everybody's the enemy. If you want government, you're mentally ill. You're the enemy. You're just a group that, listen, you're the enemy until you realize that nobody is allowed to rule over anyone else. You don't get to rule over other people. That's what you need to realize until everybody in the world has that mental mindset that, hey, I don't want to tell you what to do. I want you to be free and live life your way. I don't want to dictate and be a dictator over you and a tyrant and force you to live my way instead of the way you want to live. I don't want to rule over you until everybody has the right mindset and mentality of understanding freedom and allowing people to be free. You need a true free being will allow others to be free. So we're in a world where they don't understand freedom. You see what I'm saying? We need to live in a world where the mindset is, hey, I'm not going to go around and join a government and try to rule over you and make rules for you. I can't do that, nor do I want to do that. I want you to be free. And I want everybody to enjoy everything here that we found here for free. And you don't have to pay to exist to be here. That's not the world we live in. You've been put into a prison. The day everybody had to pay somebody to survive here, to be here, you were in a prison ever since. Everybody here who had to pay. And it's basically from the beginning, since the old world got wiped out, everybody here had all of a sudden had to start to pay. And you've been in a prison here ever since the old world got meltified in the Great Meltification. Shit. Oh, shit. I forgot to change these batteries. Or did I? 1220. Oh. No, I'm about right. No, I got to change them. Yeah, 10 minutes. My bad. Good. God, I thought I forgot. No, I got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I got to change the batteries. I'm charging these two batteries. I got to charge the other two. Fucking annoying. But, yeah, nobody understands that you don't have the right to rule over. Like anybody in the right mind would go, dude, wait, government is just another ruling class group in disguise under the guise of freedom. Like nobody has the right to go around making rules, laws, all this shit for people. None of this shit. None of this. You're not the rulers, but they're out there ruling over everyone, making them pay to survive, making them pay taxes, making them pay, extorting them out of everything. You're taxed 1,000 times on the same money again and again. It's mind-boggling how these idiots don't wake up sooner. It's mind-boggling.
All of a sudden, diesel has become the biggest concern, and rightfully so. We've been warning about this.
This is Dabu, idiot. I think NASA's for real.
Here for weeks. The writing has been on the wall rather clear, and our government has ran their strategic reserves down to nothing. They have been able to get away with pulling from those reserves.
I will try to sound more dramatic, but I can't.
Fill the crude buffer, but this does very little to help the price in terms of diesel. And that's what's happening right now.
Diesel, dramatic.
The perfect storm, so to speak, is coming together. And it's happening because they're making it this way. It's rather obvious.
Because Dabu 7.
Hormuz, this whole thing was meant to usher in a greater reset. But what we also see in this is more than just Hormuz. The Red Sea getting hit, and strategically, you're looking at refinery after refinery getting hit, specifically on the war front with Russia. This is making the price of diesel go through the roof. This is affecting everything globally. Oil extending gains this morning, trading at around $91 a barrel. At some point, it's going to break past 100 and continue marching north. There's nothing that can stop it at this point. Trump can only try to manipulate the prices here in America, like he's done with eggs, beef. He's barked at the gas stations. But since he is not
Jeff, dumbfuck is leveraged oil long.
deployed an executive order to keep prices at a certain spot, they're going to rise. And at some point, the thing with diesel here, they're saying that's absolutely unprecedented is it's just not going to show up. When the refineries are taken out, they're bombed, they're wiped out, and they're never replaced. You have a huge issue. You can have all this oil just like they got from Venezuela, but if you cannot refine it into a usable fuel, you have big issues. And that's where we're sitting right now. Again, SPR, super drained, it's treasonous where it's sitting. You just had
treasonous
JP Morgan come out and warn about a global food crisis. You got the waterways waxed. I mean, a mega drought has clipped everything, and it's global. And as I showed on the stream last night, fires are global as well.
Because Israel's setting fires everywhere, you idiot. Well, there's hurricanes too, because they have hurricane weapons to do hurricanes, dumb fucks. What about everything they're doing? You're in a system with the same 4 seasons every year. It's the friendliest place in the world. It never changes. Only is it the idiots in it that change it by spraying shit everywhere, manipulating everything, the weather, and manipulating and spraying, causing droughts, causing floods, spraying poisons everywhere, spraying fire accelerants everywhere. Man, these retards are so fucking dumb. Exactly. It's mind-boggling how dumb these fucking retards are. It kind of hurts. So you guys can hear Dabu 7 okay? Without any echoes, no problem. You can hear me chiming in as well, okay? Can we get a thumbs up on that? Give me a 5 in the room if you heard me okay, everything's fine. Or a yes. Code. How about Morse code? Anything. What the fuck? Give me a sign. Wink. Something.
a second here, man. We have yet another colossal Epstein bombshell that nobody is talking about, but I'm banging my head against the wall because everybody should be talking about this one. This is insane, the stuff that we just learned. So I'm going to break that down
Why everybody should
for
be
you
talking
in a
about
second.
Everyone!
We also have Trump continue.
Who do you want me to kill? Everyone!
To shoot himself in his tiny little micro penis, because the fact that he has no filter anymore is leading him to accidentally say the quiet part out loud, and it is getting catastrophic for his poll numbers. It's getting catastrophic for people's perception of him. So wait until you hear the new psychotic quotes that he's casually saying. Also, we now are in the position where MAGA's polling is the worst of any movement in history. The collapse of MAGA is the worst polling collapse in the history of polling. So cannot wait to break that down for you. We also have Stavros Halkias just absolutely cooks Joe Rogan without even trying or even mentioning his name. That's tremendous. And then also later on, we have Oliver Larkin is leading to stage 5 meltdowns among right-wing pro-Israel TV hosts. So you love to see it. Also, by the way, hey man, election day, get out there. If you're in Florida, get your ass out there. Vote for Elijah Manley. Vote for Oliver Larkin. Vote for Angie Nixon. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. These are difficult districts. These are very difficult races. But you know, you run through the tape, bro. Run through the tape. Get out there and do your civic duty and try to get our leading lefties across the finish line. So you guys know the drill, man. Everybody do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. You can also click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. Also, support the show on Patreon. Thank you to everybody who does support the show on Patreon. We could not do the show without you. Remember, this is real independent media. I've never talked to an advertiser, never done an ad read, never will. You guys made that possible by giving $1 a month or $2 a month or $5 a month. So thanks again from the bottom of my heart. Also, sign up for Crystal Kylan Friends on Substack. Bro, we are working on some juicy guests, bro. I'm just going to say that. We're working on some juicy guests, and hopefully we're able to get them because it would be something special if we do. But sign up below on Substack for what we have coming up, and go sub to Corin's World and come hang out with us live on Monday nights. And with that being said, let's jump right in. So on Friday, I did a live video for you where I broke down this new massive Epstein bombshell that came out. Okay. So to refresh your memory on this, take a look. Look at this from the Leah files. She says, the government just gave a charity being sued for sex trafficking a $244 million no-bid contract to provide lawyers to migrant kids. Put it out Friday night with no announcement. They are keeping this quiet and for good reason. It's the Sound of Freedom charity, Our Rescue, formerly known as Operation Underground Railroad. They have 0 immigration lawyers, 0 federal contracts ever, and their lifetime federal history is 1 transaction, this one. So stop and think about that. A group that is under investigation for sex trafficking just got a $244 million no-bid contract from the Trump regime to provide a service that they've hired nobody to do that service. How insane is that? So they go, oh yeah, this is for migrant lawyers for kids or whatever. And then you dig into it and they haven't hired anybody that's a lawyer for migrant kids. None of them. If they're trying to do a cover up and they're trying to get away with some shit here, it's the worst cover up in the world because you guys are caught. Like you guys are caught red fucking handed. So they say the kids' real lawyers, the government owed them $65 million and refused to pay unless they handed over the children's confidential files. They refused and their contract died. I spent 2 days following the money and it's dark. A Dubai shell company, the founder's family on the payroll, contractors listed as anonymous individuals, and a DC company registered 13 months before the contract with the CEO named as beneficial owner. They knew. So she has a full investigation on her Substack, and I dug a little deeper, and the Salt Lake Tribune also has a piece talking about the same thing here. So I don't know why this isn't bigger. I don't know why this hasn't made it to most of the mainstream media outlets, but we're looking at a situation here where the Trump regime is handing out nearly $250 million, potentially involved in the child sex trafficking. Okay? It's not like this is a oopsie, our bet. No, it looks like they're involved in it. That's what it looks like to me. I've been telling you guys, the thing we have to look out for the most when it comes to the Epstein files is Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, one of the 10 Epstein co-conspirators? And this, among many other things, leads me to believe he might be an actual Epstein co-conspirator. But more on that in a second, because it's going to get even darker, okay? I also told you this on Friday. New FBI documents released via the Freedom of Information Act show the Department of Justice had a document flag list when it began reviewing Epstein files last year. There are 16 entries that are simply marked POTUS. So these things, basically redacted, simply marked
President of the United States, POTUS.
POTUS, okay? Explicitly, hey, the reason we're...
AKA President of the United States, pedophile Trump was a co-conspirator who got a deal, worked out a deal.
We're holding this back is because the president of the United States is implicated. This should surprise nobody because, as you all know, he was in the Epstein files literally over 1 million times. His name is mentioned more in the Epstein files than Jesus's name is mentioned in the Bible, y'all. That's a fact. Another fact is when they only released 1 or 2% of the Epstein files, he was already listed in that bitch 38,000 times. But it gets worse. So here we go. We have a little segment here on CNN, Tap Jaker's show, and they're discussing the Epstein files. They say the following.
And some of this is handwritten notes from the FBI agents interviewing victims and also potentially even perpetrators, right?
Well, the FBI handwritten notes implicate Donald Trump.
FBI handwritten notes, redacted, directly
implicate Donald Trump. What in the fuck do you need to know, you dumb retards? All you fucking Trump tards, 2028 Trump tard, 3-time voting mental ill retards. That dude is a pedophile, okay? No matter how you look at it, you're supporting a pedophile president who has no right to be heard from anyone at all. He should be locked up.
Implicating Donald J. Trump, directly implicating them. What the DOJ hasn't produced: handwritten notes FBI took during witness interviews, files in foreign languages, and explanations of redactions. But handwritten notes directly implicating Donald Trump.
Secret why they're doing the stance at the DOJ to not release them. They are handwritten notes by 4 different meetings with a victim who alleges when she was 13, she was sexually abused by Donald Trump. That's it.
Katie Johnson. This is the Katie Johnson allegation. Ladies and gentlemen, finish watching this segment, but as soon as you're done watching this segment, do yourself a favor. Type in Secular Talk Katie Johnson into the YouTube search bar and watch your mind get blown. Because there was a literal video of her where she told her story with her face, censored in a hotel where she was suing Epstein and Trump back in 2016. And she eventually dropped the case. The speculation is she dropped the case because she was either paid to drop it, right? Like settled out of court, paid to drop it, or she was threatened. Okay. But she has a detailed story about what Trump did to her, what Epstein did to her, how she was trafficked, how Trump has a nipple torture.
Many other women that can tell the same story about Trump and Epstein.
Fetish. How Trump directly raped her and another underage girl that she was with. Okay? It's all
what they did. It's what they did all the time. It was their fucking thing. He liked to grab them by the pussy without their permission.
Out there. Nobody ever talks about it, but it's all out there. Go look at the Katie Johnson allegations. We covered it on Secular Talk. We went through virtually the entire interview, and I responded point for point. This is already out there, and again, it is criminally under-discussed. But now you have CNN alluding to it. And what did they do? They specifically tried.
What did they do? Interview Trump. Let's hear what this pedophile has to say about it. Why are you giving a pedophile a voice? Why are you giving a war criminal, genocidal Netanyahu a voice? You're nuts. You're all nuts.
To redact the handwritten letters from the Katie Johnson interview with the FBI. It's a specific cover-up over the Katie Johnson allegations. That's what this is. By the way, the plot's going to thicken even more in a second. But CNN now is talking about the Katie Johnson allegations.
Who alleges when she was 13, she was sexually abused by Donald Trump. That's the allegation. Now, the actual 302s, the official FBI reports, they've been turned over. After much hullabaloo and pushing by media, they were turned over. Why aren't you turning over these handwritten notes? Well, today, the prosecution said, well, you know what? They're duplicative. That's the first time they've ever said it. Before they said it was substantially similar to the 302. So what did the judge do today? He said that the the handwritten notes must be turned over in camera, unredacted, so that he can check them out, because they continue to refuse to give them to the court.
And of course, President Trump denies any wrongdoing having to do with the Epstein files.
As he does.
Yes, as he does. Thank you so much, Katie.
It's all coming out. This is the definition of what's called a limited hangout. They released about 50% of the Epstein files, which is millions of documents, but they're still hiding the most damning parts. That's what you need to understand. They give you a little bit, and then they take out the most damaging stuff. They're still hiding. This stuff, they're still trying to hide it. Well, guess what? We have one of the documents floating around now. It was posted by the DOJ, perhaps accidentally. Okay. Jim Stewartson says, wow, this is all very specific. And he's pointing to, this is one of the handwritten letters that was being held back by the FBI. More on it in a second, because it's very hard to read if you just go through it like this. Okay. Someone at the DOJ is definitely getting fired for forgetting to redact Donald Trump's name from this file. So again, handwritten. So what does it say? Jeffrey Epstein, my testimony places Donald Trump as a person involved in the sale of young women to sex trafficking ring of Jeffrey Epstein and the Saudis.
And the Saudis.
Let me repeat that. Handwritten letter to the FBI. My testimony places Donald Trump as a person involved in the sale of young women to the sex trafficking ring of Jeffrey Epstein and the Saudis. What did I tell you?
Yeah.
What did I tell you? The major bombshell that it appears like they're hiding is that Donald J. Trump is one of the 10 Epstein co-conspirators. Let me ask you, how many of the 10 co-conspirators were arrested, were locked up, have cases on them? The answer is literally zero. This is the biggest cover-up in U.S. government history. The answer is literally zero.
Holy crap. Donald Trump says, you said she's, all right, let's see. I wanted to read something here. Let's see. Donald Trump can stand in the driveway and have a clear view of me naked and on my knees on the mattress. Donald Trump says, you said she is pregnant. She doesn't look pregnant. George says she is. My dad took her to an army doctor, and he estimates she's 2.5 months pregnant. Trump asked, is she on drugs? George said, yes. Trump said, we don't like them for them to be pregnant because we lose money. A doctor could cause her to miscarry, or if the child is good looking, whether we could sell the baby. You said she is religious. The Saudis like the religious ones. We'll figure it out. You will take her. These are the readable versions of the hard to decipher handwriting from the
zero. This is the biggest cover-up in U.S. government history. I think
photos,
it's fair to call this.
From the photos and the ex-posts.
The biggest cover-up in U.S. government history. Every single Epstein co-conspirator they are protecting.
That motherfucker's like, all right, fuck it, all right, we don't like you pregnant, but you know what? If it's going to be good looking, maybe we can sell it. That's absolutely Trump. That's absolutely, I can absolutely see him saying that verbatim.
Because they're all part of the billionaire robber baron cabal. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is going after Letitia James and James Comey and Don Lemon and some guy who put his hand in the reflecting pool and did nothing.
Yeah, and they're calling Tucker Carlson a terrorist who's never ever done a terrorist attack ever, and they're calling him a terrorist. They're calling people who's never ever committed a terrorist attack. They're calling them terrorists. This is a mental illness that Trump and his terrorist, pedophile, criminal, genocidal regime.
Nothing wrong. All of them, throw the book at them, but God forbid you actually traffic little girls, well, you're free to go. No problem whatsoever. The pedophile president's going to protect you. Till his dying breath, he's going to be there to protect you.
Yeah,
It is
right.
incredible. Okay, but I'm still not done.
Yeah, right. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that Trump bitched at her on the phone. You're gonna hurt my friends. You're hurting my friends, Trump said, complained to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she told us that's what he said.
Here's what the other note says. Donald Trump can stand in the driveway and have a clear view of me naked and on my knees on the mattress. Donald Trump said...
Right here. All right. I didn't know he was going to read that. Whatever. That's How's everybody doing today? Yo, yo, yo! What's up, Eval? Evaldus. Tom and Evaldus. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. You guys are quite special, you know. You guys are quite special. Out of the entire retard world, you guys are the only cool people here. Everyone else is basically retarded as far as I'm concerned. Man, this blue heeler is so loyal, and he's such a good doggy. This dog is obsessed with playing fetch. Trump himself might also be pregnant. Yeah, right. But yeah, he shits his diaper nonstop. We know that. Boy, can you imagine having that job? There is not enough money in the world, eh? Hey, take off. Hey, you hoser. Bob. What about Bob? So yeah, I mean, I'm just like wondering, when is this ruling class government gonna get called the fuck out, man? I mean, really called out. All the property taxes have to stop. All the taxes have to stop. When are these pedophiles going to get called out? When are we going to get any justice? When are these pedophiles, all these people in the intelligence agencies that are running the sex trafficking, when are these fuckers going to get called out? Do you know who started the intelligence agencies after World War II? Do you guys know who started them? The banksters. Look it up. And that's who controls everything right now via intelligence. You can change the presidents and all the retard politicians all you want. It'll never change the banks that run the intelligence agencies that run the government. You stupid fucking retards. And lobbying is legalized bribery, so the system's inherently rigged. So to think that you're voting your way out of this, it just proves to me that you need to sit down and shut the fuck up, go to the back of the room and just shut the fuck up and let the adults talk. That's what it tells me. Yeah. Oh, God. I can't think about it, Eval. It's disturbing to think about, really. All right, one more from this fucking guy. Kyle, go Kyle.
Gave a speech here at a DNC event, and man, did he make the point that everybody has been desperate for some politician to make for quite a while now. So listen to what he says, and then we'll break it down.
There is no reconciliation in America without accountability. The bankers who caused the great financial crash in 2008, they belong in jail. The officials...
Baba Booba Goo Goo, they all put up a good, huge show, but you'll never see any action, okay? You'll never see the actual arrests.
Who lied us into the Iraq...
What is it? What's the planes? Get out of here!
War, they need investigation. The Justice Department should never have delayed the January 6 cases that led Trump back into power. And so here's what I can say. When we take back the House, when we take back the Senate, we subpoena, we investigate, and we prosecute. We hold account.
The entire Trump terrorist pedophile regime, protection regime, needs to be rounded up and executed.
Accountable. We hold accountable the powerful who stole from this nation, who doged.
And after that, you can round up all the Democrats and execute them and get rid of all these fucking retards in government that think they are allowed to roll over you.
This nation and who kill innocent people on the streets in this nation.
They've lost their mind and their way, and they have no respect for you and your freedom. They believe they can make rules for you, and you have to give them money. They want to rule over you and extort you. This is a criminal behavior of tyrant, pedophile, genocidal maniacs that have always ended up with their heads chopped off or they're hung by their own entrails.
I think this is the first Democratic politician who's out there saying in no uncertain terms, they're going to prison. We're locking them up. They're going to prison. This is not continuing. Because the biggest mistake Barack Obama made was not going after George W. Bush, not going after Dick Cheney, not going after the war criminals.
You think? You think? They all lied. All of their intelligence was from Israel, just like Trump's intelligence is from Israel. And we know Israel is a genocidal, pedophile, lying maniac. War, whose motto, by the way, is, check it out, drum roll, please, war by way of deception. So all their intelligence is automatically going to be a lie to get you into a war. How are you this dumb, people? How is George Bush this dumb? How is Trump this dumb? Nobody's this dumb.
Criminals and the torturers, because then what happened was it became a matter of opinion whether or not we torture and violate the Constitution, whether or not we wage illegal wars against countries that didn't attack us, whether or not we abide by international law. It went from something that was set in stone and a matter of necessity to, well, reasonable people disagree. And if the Democrats want to not go to war and the Republicans do want to go to war, well, it is what it is. If Democrats say torture is bad and Republicans say torture is good, that's just a disagreement. But the problem is that never was the case. That never was true. It's always been one thing is criminal, one thing is not. And so the worst mistake Obama made was not locking up the Wall Street criminals and not locking up the war criminals from the Bush regime. And so here's Ro Khanna saying we can't make that same mistake. We can't do it. We got to go after the ICE Gestapo thugs who've shot innocent.
How the fuck did they let Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld and George W. and even the senior and Condoleezza Rice and Colonel the fucking God, what was his fucking name anyway? General fucking retard. They're all fucking traitors. But let me make sure I got the amps. These things are charging good. Let's throw this on. How's everybody doing? No, you guys are welcome to comment. And where's everybody listening from today? And tell me something about yourself. I'm just kidding.
What flock camera is doing now.
No, what's come out?
A lot of cops are resigning or forced to resign because they're speaking out against this flock camera system.
Good for
Why?
them.
Something that just came out is that flock cameras, not only do they do facial recognition, but they have this capability now for their AI to instantly link up to your Bluetooth in your car, whether it be your phone or your headphones, and then be able to track you anywhere.
That makes absolutely zero sense. We keep seeing more and more videos of these flock cameras falsely accusing people who are completely innocent, who have footage of them at other places.
All I'm saying is there's copper in there.
We're not saying go cut these things down.
I'm just talking about the potential shortage of copper.
I heard a lot of people are buying those green laser pointers and it's frying the system. You guys shouldn't do that.
No, of course not. Because that would work. They would stop working if we did
It's
that.
illegal. Yeah, it's illegal and you should not do that. Did you see what flock camera is doing now?
No, what's come out?
A lot of cops are resigning or forced to resign because they're speaking out against this flock.
Yeah. You might have to go to Spain, dude. Yeah, bro. You got to get out of there, bro. I can't believe you're still in that shithole, UK. That's probably worse than San Fran shithole. That's worse than San Fran shithole. Like California is nuts. The pedophiles have taken over California. The Israelis have taken over Florida and California. But you'll see it in the laws here.
You know what I should be doing right now? Sleeping. That's exactly what I should be doing right now. But I actually just got done at the high limit room. And yeah, I got to tell you, man, California is literally next level stupid. It just is. And what makes me laugh the most is so many of you guys complain.
The governments are all criminal, man. They believe they have the right to rule over you and steal your money via ridiculous taxes. California bans 70% of tires with new roll, stuck on stupid, I told you so. That's all you need to know. Really nothing else. He doesn't damn sure say anything interesting. He's basically fucking retarded. Here, vote some more retards in. His answer is more pedophile government when it can't exist. These idiots, dude. I'd like to. They're the enemy, dude. You got to slap their fucking teeth out. Yeah, they know what they're doing when they call it flock. You're a bunch of sheep. That's the whole point. They're mocking the public by calling the cameras flock. Hello, McFly, are you there? Hello. Next round of QE will trigger a dollar crisis.
You said if there's more quantitative easing, one more round, it is the end. It is the end, and it is the end of the dollar. Are you still so convinced that it's just one more?
Folks, the dollar is about to hyperflate, which means, what does that mean? That means it's about to lose its value and prices are going to skyrocket really, really fast. People are not going to be able to, it's going to be so fast that they won't be able to keep up, the people, and it's going to come up on everybody so fast, everybody is going to not be able to buy food. You'll see. Nobody will be able to buy food, and then you're going to have a problem.
More rounds?
The next time, yes, I think it's the end. It's the end. When the world at large sees that they're going to go back to QE, it's over. In my opinion, it's over. You would have to be an absolute idiot to continue to hold U.S. treasuries when they're printing money at those levels one more time. Because I don't think next time it's going to have the same efficacy as it's had before. The game's going to be up. When that recession hits, and it will hit, a lot of things are going to unwind. A lot of things. Because the debt will start to make it unwind. And that's everything. Crypto, tech, you name it. Everything's going to come crashing down.
Including gold initially?
I think gold initially, yeah. Monetary system is in huge trouble. And when I say huge, I'm talking about double D huge trouble.
Doesn't matter if you got physical gold in a hole, you good. You're good to go. It doesn't matter. I will trade gold with you any time. You don't have to worry about. You got somebody to trade with.
Debt and derivatives. It's too levered. It's too interconnected, and it's too opaque. And so you've got this situation where we're going to have a reset. Okay, and fiat currencies are on their way out.
President Trump.
A reset, the great reset, financial reset. This is how they want to trick everybody into the digital currency prison.
Keeps talking about Fort Knox. The Treasury Secretary keeps being asked to reassure Americans that the gold is there. Rand Paul has now physically.
They stole America's gold a long time ago. America's broke, or we would have gold, or we wouldn't be homeless and starving right now. You fucking dumb retards. Americans got fucking blindsided and robbed by their own peers, by their fellow man in government and corporations. Yeah, dude. No, dude. Dude, these aren't just cameras, dude. This is surveillance. It's tracking you. It's storing the data. It's It's using pattern recognition and algorithms to predict your fucking future moves, bro. And it's a mental illness, bro. I will kill everybody trying to put a flock camera up. You need to hang immediately. You all got to die right now. Only a pedophile would want to mass surveil the public. Only a pedophile psychopath would want to mass surveil his fellow man. Okay, you have a mental illness.
A lieutenant in the sheriff's office, a lieutenant, made about $903,000.
So they're milking the system with this. They got this way to milk it with, they call it overtime, but it's really not. They're just on call, and they're making all this extra free money. They're what do you calling it? What do you calling the system? They're fucking the system here. They're milking the system. They're I used to know all this shit, but they're milking the system is what they're doing. And with this gimmick, it's a gimmick. It's a way to cheat the tax cattle out of more money. It's just criminal, man. In fact, paying these people, it's a parasitic thing in the first place against our free will. Like, we're going to pay you to fucking police us. That's a crime. That's criminal. Nobody wants that. This is criminal. These are parasites. They all got to die for this. Every cop, you're all parasites. You all got to die automatically. You're criminals. Everyone in government is automatically a parasitic pedophile criminal that has to die. As far as I'm concerned, I'll kill every one of you and sleep like a baby. You pieces of shit, die. I curse your souls.
Including around $440,000 in overtime. Overtime?
And you a great clean city to prove it.
Oh shit.
Overtime?
And this is in San Fran shithole. These are San Fran shithole cops extorting the public with this type of pay.
Remember when they had this big defund the police and it was supposed to be a liberal thing?
Last thing you need is policing.
Well, it turns out they're not defunding the
Never need the police because everybody is armed and everybody has everything they need because they're not in a rigged system. Nobody has to pay to survive. See, the world we live in, you don't have to pay to survive. So you don't have to commit crime. You'll never have to commit a crime. You'll have your shelter. It's everywhere is free land. We'll build you a new cabin. There's all kinds of land out here, empty. Everyone coming in here will have their own land, your own fucking place, everything you need. You don't need to commit a crime. We give it to you. It's part of your birthright when you come in here because it was free to us. Why shouldn't it be free to you when you come in here? The land. We didn't pay for it or the food or resources. It's all part of the technology we provided for ourselves when we come in here. And then some mentally ill retards start being a tyrant and they take that and charge you for it to exist. So when you take away the having to charge people to exist and to just be alive, you charge people to be alive. Until you take that away, there's going to be crime. If you take that away, there's no reason to have crime. You don't have a system where you can even benefit from crime. You'll never be able to benefit from a crime. You're morons.
The police. Quite the opposite.
Oh.
In fact, right after that whole summer of protests for defund the police, Congress got together, created a whole new police force, and the squad voted to fund it to the tune of $2 billion. So that was never a real thing. That was always just some kind of slogan to divide the country.
Police. Fund secret police, defund public police.
So this is from the San Francisco. So in San Francisco, you would think the last place in the world they would be over. No, that's the first place. Guess how much San Francisco's top paid employees for the city made $900,000. That's
On the
more than
books.
Fauci.
Yeah, that's on the books, though.
Whoa,
That's on
whoa,
the books.
whoa,
Don't forget
whoa.
all the stolen
No, Fauci, that's really, wow. That's, I don't know if that's, I think Fauci, no, Fauci got way more than that.
money to help homelessness. Where'd that go? Didn't go to some of them 900K people? I bet it did.
A small group of San Francisco, and it mostly are police officers. Police officers and sheriff deputies earn more than most of the city's executive.
Fucking regular pedophile cops making 800 grand. This is criminal extortion. This is total parasitic. What's wrong, honey? What's wrong? What's wrong?
While several making more than 800 grand in total compensation a year, largely due to enormous overtime earnings that sometimes tripled their wages. There's no way that a cop could work that much overtime to make $900,000. What they're doing is
fraud.
And they're going to say, "Oh, I'm on the clock, but I'm going home to I'm going to be on call, and then I'm going to go take a nap."
Yeah.
There's no way.
This happened in New York. Some people got busted.
Again, this is such criminal behavior by the biggest criminals of all. Being a cop is a crime in the first place. Anybody that would do this, you're a fucking pedophile piece of shit. You're the cop-outs of society. You sold out your soul to mankind.
For this, and the police, it was a scandal. I mean, not that big.
These are crimes against humanity. Becoming a cop, entering government, wanting to rule other people. These are crimes against humanity. You're all a bunch of fucking genocidal pedophiles as far as I'm concerned.
Because I still obviously
Right.
do it. But when they defunded the police, so they get rid of a bunch of people, then the
Oh God, will you shut up? Ignorant alert. Oh my God. Jesus. Yes, even some of the brick roads survived in San Francisco. And they wonder why there's so many hells. They're so dumb. It's all melted buildings, man. My documentary proves all this. Everybody in the world is basically retarded for not watching my documentary. Yeah, I mean, what can I do, bro? I mean, what can I do? I can't force them to watch it. Okay? I can't force the world. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can write a game-changing, discovering documentary, but you can't force them to watch it.
Iran is mocking the United States and Israel by showcasing what it calls trophies of war. In a striking show of defiance, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, has put on display the alleged wreckage of American and Israeli drones, along with what it claims are
Expensive plastic remote-controlled killers.
parts of a U.S. fighter jet shot
Killing toys
down during the conflict. The IRGC called the exhibition Battlefield of Spoils. The display appears to have been set up inside an undisclosed underground military facility.
Yeah, it's a bunch of melted buildings because Iran is completely fucking melted and cooked to ash. It's fucked. Everything's underground there, or under melted building there. What's up, Bubscat, Evaldus, Tom? There you go. There's many a slip between a cup and a lip. Many slip between a cup and a lip. Don't count your chickens before your eggs are hatched.
My life, because I lost most of my friends during COVID. They didn't die. They just stopped talking.
Just to help everybody out, it's not the Jews, basically. The only Jews that are a problem are the Jews in Israel that are raised by their government and cult. They're in a cult to believe they're the chosen ones, and that they're trained to be racist and genocidal to everyone else. The ones in Israel, these particular Zionist Jews, are the bad ones. All the ones mostly, for the most part, everywhere else are just regular people that aren't trying to shove it in your face that they're better than you or different. And there's no reason for that. It's stupidity to do that, to create division for no reason and bring up shit like that. You should just keep your mouth shut. We don't give a fuck what you were brainwashed to believe, idiots.
Talking to me.
We all know there's really no such thing as race. Your spirit is just coming into different vibrating vessels, you idiots. That's all it is. You had to grow a vessel. You had to grow a vessel for your soul to inhabit the physical realm, world.
Well, I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to continue to engage these Zionists because I know that they have a heart. Most of them. They're just unbelievably wrong about this. I know my Zionist Jewish friends actually believe what they're saying. They're wrong, and they don't know that they're their own worst enemy. They don't know that Israel is the biggest enemy of Jews worldwide. The creator of anti-Semitism is Israel and Zionism.
Yes. Check out Jimmy Dork. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I bet you. Yeah, and all above you in Utah is a bunch of fucking CIA, Israeli pedophile fucking retards too.
Many, many years ago, when animals could speak, a wondrous thing the ducks befell. Their tale is quite unique. Down by a pond dwelt all these ducks, 10,000 at least. Their duckish joys were undisturbed by any man or beast. One day down near the entrance gate, there was an awful din. 100 hens, all out of breath, were begging to come in.
Oh, let us in!
These poor birds cried.
Before we do expire! It's only by the merest inch that we escape the fire!
Their feathers burned, their combs adroop. They were the saddest sight. They'd run 100 miles or more, all day and then all night.
Come in, come in.
The ducks all quacked.
For you our hearts do bleed. We'll share our happy lot with you. Just tell us what you need.
And so these poor bedraggled hens amongst the ducks moved in.
For after all,
The ducks declared.
we're sisters beneath the skin.
Before too many months had lapsed, the hens were good as new. They sent for all their rooster friends, and those were welcomed too. To please their hosts, these chickens tried to waddle and to quack, to simulate the duckish ways. They quickly learned the knack. This pleased the flock of ducks because it gratified their pride. But hear my tale and learn how they got taken for a ride. The ducks, it seemed, spent all their time in fixing up the place, in growing food and building homes, and cleaning every space. They asked the hens what they would do to earn their daily bread.
We'll teach and write and entertain and buy and sell.
They said. And so these hens began to teach the baby ducks and chicks. They traded food and eggs and things with many clever tricks. They wrote great books and put on shows. Of genius they'd no lack. It wasn't long till chickens owned the Duckville Daily Quack. One day, a mother duck who took her ducklings to the lake was flabbergasted when one said,
"A swim I will not take."
Why? Ducklings always swim.
She gasped.
It's what you're built to do. Like bunnies hop, and crickets chirp, and cows most always.
You are nuts.
Her son replied,
That stuff is all old hat. It's wrong for birds to swim. Besides, it's damn cold on my prat.
Oh, fie.
The mother duck exclaimed.
You're talking like a fool.
Up quacked the other ducklings then.
He's right. We learned in school.
Such things must stop.
The mother cried.
Those hens can't tell such lies. For shearing gratitude and nerve, this surely takes the prize.
But she was wrong, for even then, the hens did thump the tub, demanding they be let into the Duckville Swimming Club.
But you don't swim.
The ducks exclaimed.
To join, why should you care? That's not the point!
The hens replied.
To exclude us isn't fair.
The younger ducks who'd been to school agreed right there and then.
To keep them out is bigotry. 'Twould just be anti-hen.
Outnumbered by the younger ducks, the old ducks soon did lose. The hens could join the swimming club if they would pay the dues. That night, the Duckville Daily Quack contained this banner spread. Reactionary ducks are licked. Duckville moves ahead. Down at the Duckville Gatey, the young set laughed with glee at cracks about old fuddy ducks in burlesque repartee. Next day, the hens were at the club, a petition they'd sent round. They objected to the swimming fund with fury and with sound.
You use our dues to fix the pond, to keep it neat and trim, and this is wrong.
They said.
You know we do not swim.
God help us,
cried a wise old duck.
These chickens have gone mad. We'll take this thing to court, by George, and justice will be had.
But when they went before the judge, imagine their dismay. A chicken judge decreed that they a heavy fine must pay.
Minorities must have their rights.
The judge declared right then.
To use hens' dues to fix the pond is very anti-hen.
Once more the Duckville Daily Quack, emblazoned across the page. Old fuddy ducks refused to see the great new coming age. In Duckville's church on Sunday morn, the preacher spoke these words.
Discrimination's got to stop. Remember, we're all birds.
The wisest duck in all the town sat down in black despair.
I'll write a book,
he thought.
Then this madness I will bear. Let swimmers swim, let hoppers hop, let each go his own way. Let none coerce a fellow bird,
was what he had to say.
'Twas wrong to force the hens to swim. So here's the problem's crux. It's just as bad for hens to try to chickenize our ducks.
I can't print that,
the printer said.
'Twill put me in a mess. My shop is mortgaged by the hens. The chickens own my press.
This worried duck then tried to warn his friends by speech and pen. But young ducks fresh from school just jeered.
He's a vicious anti-hen.
Now up the stream a little way was Gooseville on the lake. The hens had come to Gooseville too, but the geese were more awake. When the hens began to spoil the young, and Gooseville's laws to flout, the geese rose up in righteous wrath and simply threw them out. Of course, you know where they all ran. On Duckville they converged,
We've got to take these refugees.
was what the hens all urged. The Duckville Daily Quack declared, those geese will stop at naught. They plan to conquer all the world. Atrocities they've wrought.
That's right.
The young ducks all agreed.
We'll help our fellow birds. These geese have plans to conquer us. We've read the quack's own words.
They let the hens from Gooseville in, the whole bedraggled pack, and every hen took up a job on Duckville's Daily Quack. When Duckville's mayor's term was up, the quack put up its duck. A vain and stupid duck was he, a veritable cluck. But when he praised the wild young ducks and cursed the evil geese, the quack declared he was all-wise. His praise would never cease. The hens chipped in to help this cluck give grain away for free. The old ducks sadly shook their heads, the writing they could see. And sure enough, this stupid duck, he was elected mayor. From this point on, the Duckville Ducks, they never had a prayer. The mayor said,
Gooseville must go. We'll wipe them off the map.
While Duckville slept, the scheming hens for Gooseville set a trap. They called the geese by filthy names. They filled their pond with sticks. They helped the weasels catch the geese and other hennish tricks. The geese got mad and threw some rocks. It's war, the quack announced. We ducks must fight those evil geese till they've been soundly trounced. The ducks, who knew not of the tricks indulged in by the mayor, were filled with patriotic zeal and pitched right in for fair. Now when the ducks had whipped the geese, the mayor called.
Retreat! Our Henville friends should really take Gooseville's big main street.
The hens were back in Gooseville now. They starved and beat the geese. They prayed for peace, but organized the Henville Armed Police. They drained the Gooseville swimming pond. They degoosified the schools. They wrung the neck of Gooseville's mayor on lately made-up rules. They formed a council of the hens, United Birds the name. The other birds who joined the thing did not perceive the game. No sooner had they set this up than they announced their plan to seize up Swanville as a home for all their hennish clan. They took a vote amongst themselves, and everyone approved.
Swanville was for hens.
They said,
way back, before we moved.
And so they kicked the swans all out, with Duckville's help and power, and Duckville could not understand why swans on them turned sour. By this time, Duckville was a mess. The young ducks had gone mad. They stole and laughed at truth and law. They'd gone completely bad. The hens were selling loco weed in every nasty den, but ducks who dared to mention this were labeled
The little old school reefer madness.
anti-hen. The hens all preached of tolerance. They invoked the golden rule. But they subsided the indigent, the greedy, and the fool. At last, the very dumbest ducks began to smell a rat.
This mayor is no good,
They cried.
and we will soon fix that.
But the hens had planned for even this. A candidate they had, whom even wise old ducks believed, just never could be bad. This hen-tool duck had whipped the geese. A soldier duck was he. Although the hens had set him up, the ducks all thought him free. This hen-tool got elected through ignorance and greed, through hennish lies in press and speech, and bribes of chicken feed. The hens now kicked the ducks around without a blush of shame until the mayor ran the town in nothing else but name. They pumped the swimming pond all dry. They taught the ducks to crow. While duckish numbers dwindled, the hens began to grow. The hens stirred up the happy crows from out the piney wood to fight and mix and marry ducks in the name of brotherhood. Things got so bad that 50 ducks, who knew of days gone by, took up their wives and children and decided that they'd fly. They flew through storm and tempest. They froze, and many died.
Wait, you could have flown away the whole fucking time? You literally could have flown away the whole fucking time and you went through all of that.
But on they drove until at last a lovely lake they spied. They settled down exhausted, but soon went straight to work. To build and clear and cultivate, no danger did they shirk. Now, after many years of toil, this little band had grown. The fields around were full of grain from seeds that they had sown.
Here come the hens and everyone else to fucking diarrhea shit all over you again.
The first ducks now were long since dead. Their struggles long had ceased.
Yes, let's say we're taught. And down in stories, myths, like mythology.
Through hard work and through suffering, their joys had been increased. One day down near the entrance gate, there was an awful din. 100 hens, all out of breath.
Here's your chance to just shoot them all in one fucking row. And then when they fall, shoot them again and just keep shooting them. Okay? Enough of these motherfuckers.
Were begging to come in.
Oh, let us in!
These poor birds cried.
Before we do expire! 'Tis only by the merest inch.
This epic has no end because no matter how you fight 'em, those hens will show up every time, and so ad infinitum.
Oy vey!
Look, those used to be bricks. That's all that's left of a brick wall. And these retards think, hey, look, we built it with stone.
Yeah, interesting story, folks. The fable of the ducks and the hens. Same thing has been going on for years and years, and is continuing. Been about a week, a little bit over a week maybe, since I brought you a video. I'm here in Croatia still. I went and spoke at Liberland last week, which was an interesting experience that I'll get to in a little while. But in the meantime, like, the whole world's continued to go nuts as we knew it would. Big earthquake in Colombia, similar to what we saw in Venezuela. Buildings collapsing, not to the extent that we saw in Venezuela, but a lot of buildings collapsing like right across the city simultaneously. 7.4 earthquake, I think it was.
Vamos a temblar en Cali de la cosa más horrible de este mundo. Mire cómo se ve la ciudad. Mire cómo se ve la ciudad. Dios mío, el temblor. O sea, Jesús bendito, ¿qué fue lo que acaba de vivir Cali? ¿Qué acaba de vivir Cali?
Being in areas like this in the first place is a bad idea. It's too bad they don't understand that everything is all melted, damaged buildings, and that there's earthquakes waiting to happen, which is just buildings shifting from, you know, damage that hasn't shifted yet. You're going to get landslides and earthquakes, which are just buildings settling, falling like that. That's what you would call, you know, where you get the big sounds when the buildings fall over. Bam, boom. Whoa. Wow. Yeah.
Daños completos.
Yeah, that is mind-boggling.
Yeah, pretty bad earthquake. And all the other stuff's just continuing. You know, the genocide of Gaza is continuing. The genocide of Lebanon is continuing. The theater with Iran is continuing. Like I said before, they seem to have like war on the weekends and then negotiate during the week. None of it makes sense. Iran has apparently said they're not even going to bother negotiating anymore, if they even have been to begin with. And they're just going to leave the Straits of Hormuz closed until 2029 when Trump's tenure finishes. So it's all just affecting the supply chain. Like I said before, you know, if Iran really wanted to take out Israel, well, they're certainly missing a golden opportunity to do it, because the whole world wants Israel to go down. Israel is currently the most hated nation on earth. Israeli tourists arriving in Greece are getting attacked when they arrive in Greece.
Israel is the pariah of the world's pariah.
And this is happening all over the place. Nobody wants Israelis visiting their country anymore. That's just basically the way it is. So, you know, if Iran destroyed the state of Israel,
that's how it is.
The only people who would complain would be the American politicians that are continuing to support the state of Israel. So there's no reason for them not to do it unless they're a player in the big game, and this is all about shutting down the supply chain. but doing it in a gradual way, so it looks kind of like an organic event when it isn't. Yeah, back here on the fig farm, folks, it's a good day out here. The mountains, it's absolutely beautiful in Croatia. I really love coming here. But yeah, just the world's just continuing. You know, Trump's still doing his shit. Trump's just a stupid fool. He's an evil man. He's an evil man because he had...
Again, Trump is very old and unhealthy. His days here are numbered. And look how he's spending his last days. Like a fucking retard, shitting his pants every day.
Evil parents.
And baby.
Together with other people, they construct...
Like, when you look at this dude on the left, what in the fuck is that thing? Because that thing is not human. Look at it. Look at what in the fuck are we looking at here? And on the right, what the fuck is that? That ain't human either. The fuck is that thing? God damn, Trump came out of that. That explains everything. Trump came from those things.
Constructed and perpetuated an evil system. And that's the thing, you know, it's the system itself.
The best way to gain control of the most intelligent species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as a child is old enough to think for themselves, you force them into a system that teaches them to conform. You make them sit in a building every day, memorizing the exact same answers, so they never learn how to actually question the world around them. Then you only show them tragedy and violence on the news. Why? Because a society living in constant fear will never trust each other. You convince them that humanity has never been smarter than we are right now. So they never look back and question the integrity of the system they are trapped in. You make...
That's why all the retards today have fallen into this trap of believing that they're the smartest they've ever been, not realize and understanding that there was a highly advanced civilization here that clearly lived a quality of life thousands of times better than ours today.
Money the center of their entire existence, but you make it so hard to get that they are always struggling. You drain their energy for 5 straight days, then hand them 2 days off so they feel just enough of a reward to stay quiet and not fight back, to keep them numb on those 2 days off. You push them to consume literal poison at every social event. You pump their cheap everyday food full of sugar and addictive chemicals. And when that garbage food finally makes them sick, you sell them highly expensive pills that don't actually cure them, but just mask the symptoms so they are dependent on the medical system forever. It is the perfect trap. You keep them tired, sick, broke, and divided in 100 different ways so they never realize they have the power to just walk out of the cage.
With all the stuff that's going on, I mean, even the...
that's mind-boggling. That cartoon right there just explained everything.
Israeli question, the Jewish question, I suspect that they want the world to hate them because they want Jews all around the world to be hated so that they've got nowhere else to go but Israel. And then Israel will have the numbers it needs to populate Greater Israel and all the things it wants to do, build its third temple, all the stuff.
And start enclaves around the world like a fucking goddamn cancer trying to infest, like aliens trying to infest and take over the world.
It wants to do. I honestly can't see them completing this third temple by...
I really don't see any difference between reptilian alien, shape-shifting aliens and the Israelis. It's really no difference.
October 2nd, 2027 either. Like, not the way things are going. I mean, time's certainly getting away. They need to destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque, and they need to build the third temple and anoint their Messiah before or by October 2nd, 2027, according to some rabbis. That's when it must be done by. They got all the temple ready and fabricated and ready to go. Whether they're going to do it is another thing. But what they're also doing, I mean, the whole world is moving into this technological nightmare. Even like, for example, my son in Australia, I've got a car that I've still got in Australia, it's still registered. And I've given it to my son, I just want to give him the car. In order to do it online, because obviously I'm not physically there to sign any papers, in order to do it online, I have to register on or log into my MyGov account, my.gov.au account. Well, for a start, it isn't MyGov, it's their Gov. And I don't have a MyGov account. And I don't want one. In order for me to create one, I need to create a digital ID. This is how they're doing it in Australia. So in order for me to give my car to my son, to give my son a registered car, I have to provide a digital ID to the Australian government. You believe this shit? So of course I'm not going to do it. So I'll probably just let the car run out of rego and he can just have the car and register it again and whatever, you know. So interesting how they're doing this sort of shit. It's really going crazy in Australia. They've actually, this one guy, I think he's possibly facing 5 years, at least 1 year, but possibly 5 years, because he emailed his local MP numerous times asking them to address the situation in Gaza, and now he is facing jail time because of that. And if that doesn't sound dystopian and Orwellian in
Police social cohesion squad. In other words, pedophiles prosecute man over Gaza emails to his MP. All these fucking, dude, the Israeli pedophile piles have taken over the government of Australia and made in Florida and made laws to where you can't ridicule Israel. And if or in any way, or like, you know, calling them out on Gaza, you know what I mean? Favoring Palestine over Israel, anything. They're all mentally ill. They're going to tell you what you're allowed to say, like you're a child in Australia and frankly around the world. Everyone's treated like a child. They're not allowed to say what they really want to say because they're not allowed to. They're not free. You're not in a free world. You're in a world of pedophiles and genocidal maniacs.
No. You're
none the wiser.
New police squad that is carrying out this investigation is called the Social Cohesion Squad. Social cohesion. That's an interesting terminology, isn't it? You know, technology is taking over everything, and it's really having a major negative effect on humankind. You know, it's okay for people like my age and people even younger than me, depending on the environment they're in, of course. I mean, I know young people here in Croatia, like 19, 20, 22 years old, that are quite, you know, connected to nature, connected to all things good. But many people in larger cities, they're very connected to the internet and peer group pressure and all the stuff that goes on there, more than connected to themselves and their family and nature. And it's having a really negative effect. We know the birth rate is really dropping, and this is also being brought about due to the internet, due to technology. People don't really know how to communicate to people anymore. You know, there's no social interaction on a base level. Even if, you know, a guy was to go out to a nightclub and ask a girl to dance, that can be seen as sexual harassment these days. So where do you draw the line? How do young people meet each other? What, online? But when they're online, they use all these filters and they don't really look like what they pretend they do. And even if they do, they've lost all of their personal communication and interaction skills, the sorts of stuff we grow up, children grow up interacting with each other, and they get older and they have, you know, beach parties when they're teenagers and do all sorts of stuff. We all did this when we were kids. Modern day kids don't get that. And so that's destroying society as well. And it's also having a huge effect on the population growth.
I'm 30 years old. Not one of my friends has children. Zero. No one. No one's having kids. Do you know how hard you need to abuse a mammal to make them not have children? like for real. Like let's step here back a moment, right?
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, look, GDP goes up. People have have enough food, you know, and whatever. No one's having kids, and this is across the world. This is across both the West, the East, you know, everywhere it's happening. So there's the thing that happens, especially with younger, like even younger than me. Like the kids are like 18 today. There's a huge problem where they don't dance. No one dances. They go to clubs and they don't dance. Why is this? Because you get recorded.
Yeah.
If you're an 18-year-old kid, you go to a club, you get recorded. If you approach a girl and you mess it up, you get recorded. Everything is the panopticon now. So if you had to ask me why, my answer is technology. My answer is social media. My answer is AI. My answer is algorithms. Do you know what dating app algorithms do? Do you know how they optimize? They don't optimize for you to meet your love of your life. They optimize you to keep coming back to the app.
Yeah.
And now there's the thing that basically we have sold out all of our dating norms, all of our, our interpersonal norms to tech companies without our consent to optimize their ad algorithm.
Right.
I think there's a deep thing where we as a society have not dealt with the fact that we have to steward technology responsibly. We have treated technology as a Wild West.
Absolutely.
Just everyone can do whatever they want, just sell all of our younger generation's dating lives to corporations for profit. And who pays the cost for this? Who has liability? So I think the real problem is that we are, as a society, as a government, the generations that came before me, and also my generation, I don't want to exclude myself from this, but also generations came before me, just let technology rip. The promise was, if you let technology rip, if you let internet rip, there will be democracy and freedom and happiness and economic growth. And where is that? I think my generation is noticing that broken promise.
And that's really important stuff, folks. It's a really astute observation by that young guy. People are really giving themselves over to technology, and it's robbing them of their humanity. And this is something I've been saying for years and years. In the text at the bottom of every video, if you click the show notes and click plus more, you'll see links to the shows. And you also see at the bottom, throw away your smartphone. Turn off your television, throw away your smartphone. I've been saying this for so long, and this is the solution. People have got to disconnect themselves from the digital world. I mean, sure, it's okay to use it. I'm using it to talk to you guys. But I'm not connected to it all the time. I don't take a smartphone with me everywhere I go. I don't shop with cards. I don't leave a digital trail everywhere I go. And the way they're tricking people into doing it. Now, you've got to have your digital ID in order to participate in the system. Like me even trying to give my old car to my son. I can't do it without a digital ID. Since when? Unbelievable. This is the stuff they're doing. And all the new cars and all the stuff they're doing, these can all be remote controlled as well. And they admit this. I mean, your car spies on you. You got these new digital cars with these screens and all this sort of stuff going on, all this digital connection. Your car's actually online and it's watching your eyes. It's watching your micro expressions and all sorts of stuff, totally analyzing you. Everything you do gets analyzed these days. And there are special filters.
Everything you do, you're being constantly critiqued.
Created to create profiles of you. Oh, it goes so deeply. And all of it falls apart if people simply stop using the tech. Stop using apps on your phone, especially if you have to get them through Google.
What do you mean stop using the tech? They put flock cameras everywhere. You don't even make any sense, you idiot. Yeah, you have to use a phone to call people, bro. But that's not, you didn't need a data center or flock cameras for any of that. You don't need that.
Play Store, because as soon as you put an app on your phone that you get through Google, then Google controls you. Google is monitoring you, everything you do.
Yeah, Google's fucked up. Google CIA, Israel. Google is pedophile Israel. Genocidal war criminal motherfuckers. That's Google. That's CIA. CIA is basically Mossad right now. Basically, FBI. Donald Rumsfeld explained to the world that back in 2000 that the Pentagon was run by Israel. So, fuck off. There you go. That means everything. All that Pentagon, everything is run by Israel.
You know, we could change the world in a day if people would simply stop taking cell phones with them everywhere and stop shopping with credit cards. That would be a huge step forward. But people just won't do it. But there's been observations now which show that cars, modern cars, all these online cars can be remote controlled.
You know, when the Vault
That's how they killed Paul Walker and Anne Heche.
7 documents were released back in, what was it, 2017?
Once in the CIA, always in the CIA. Let that sink in when you listen to this fucking retard talk. He's a criminal, piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. Should be executed immediately if I get my hands on him.
What are those?
And I don't want to do that, so just stay away from me so I don't have to do nothing.
There was a CIA computer engineer who named Joshua Schulte, who swears that he's innocent, but is now serving a sentence of 40 years for espionage. He was apparently, allegedly, a disgruntled engineer. He didn't like his boss. He didn't like his coworkers. They didn't like him. So he just downloaded the crown jewels of the Directorate of Science and Technology and sent it all to WikiLeaks in 2017. Google Vault 7 documents, Vault 7 revelations. It will knock your socks off. Thousands and thousands of pages. It makes what Chelsea Manning leaked look like, you know, scrawl from a 6th grader. So he revealed that the CIA has developed technologies to, for example, remotely take over your car by hacking into the chip, right? Why would the CIA want to take over your car? To make you drive off a bridge, maybe? To make you drive into a tree and kill yourself? To make you drive into an abutment and make sure that there's no way you can survive because they've got the thing going 140 miles an hour and you can't control it? They developed technology to reverse.
Israel already has blown up a bunch of people in Palestine with cell phones.
To your smart TV.
Funny. I don't know why I don't know why I laugh there. It's just it's amazing that they get away with it. That's why I'm laughing. Not funny. It's not funny at all. At all.
Make the speaker into a microphone with the TV still appearing to be off, so you don't know that it's broadcasting everything that's being said in your house to CIA headquarters. I mean, there's almost too much in Vault 7 to even go into. It's incredible. I'm going to give a talk about it.
God damn!
At a hacker conference this coming weekend. Okay. So, you know, couple what the CIA was trying to do in the 50s with MK Ultra and its subcomponents compared to what it is technologically able to do today. And it is terrifying.
It is.
And this is what killed Anne Heche. Remember when Anne Heche died and that car was screaming down the road and you could...
Anne Heche. Is that how you say it? I can't remember.
Hear the brakes screaming. She had her foot jammed on the brakes. And the car just kept going.
And she still wasn't dead. She totally came out of the body bag and they're like, bitch, get back in that shit.
It just...
And they basically stuffed her back in it and shoved her in it in the car and fucking bailed and killed her later.
Crashed into a
killed her on the way as soon as they got around the fucking corner.
House at the end of the street.
They drove Paul Walker's car right into a fucking tree at 60 plus miles an hour, whatever it was. Killed him right into a tree.
And then Anne Heche was trying to climb out of a body bag. I'm sure you've all seen the footage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is all confirmed now. This is all stuff that we've been saying for years, and it's all confirmed. Another thing that's happened.
She's trying to get out of the body bag, and they're like, nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Get your head back in there. Duck your head back in there, bitch.
Actually, here in Croatia, there were some really bad fires in Croatia. It's really, really dry here. I mean, it would be so easy for a fire to come through here. It's incredibly dry. Very, very hot. Very unusually hot. But just recently, there were fires through a town just near Split called
Pay attention here. Pay attention to this right here. What he's about to say here. Put your seatbelt on.
And again, we saw cars burnt, trees not so burnt. I mean, there was trees burning. I have seen footage of the fires, and it was sweeping through the forest, but many of the trees are still good. What is not good is the houses. And interestingly, houses with blue roofs.
Jeff already went over these blue roofs.
There's a house here with a blue roof, and it looks perfectly fine underneath. There's a amenities block that looks perfectly fine as well. There's this other scene, and there's this wall. I don't know whether it's a concrete wall or whether it's a wooden billboard. I suspect it's a concrete wall, which would explain why it didn't burn, because it's
kind of looks like a piece of plywood, a plywood fence.
concrete, but you think it would be singed like other things in the area. But the interesting thing is that what appears to be standing in front of it.
Right there, look. Remember these things? They're full of air and you jump in them and shit. I used to love jumping in these things as a kid.
I asked the Croatian people what they think this is, and they said that's a jumping castle. Which is what, a plastic jumping castle? It's still
It holds air, you idiot.
Still there and not burnt. That's pretty strange, don't you think? I mean, that's if that's what it is.
I'm kidding. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely a fucking jumping castle.
You know, people just
The reason it's not burned up is because it's blue.
don't understand.
Because that ray they use, the laser ray, the energized, laser, weapon there that they aim a fucking laser, super hot. They can cut a tree branch with a laser right now.
How far this technology goes and what they can do with all this technology, new drone technology and stuff. I've shown you, I think, I did a report and I showed you that there are Israeli settlers that are now being issued with drones that have got guns on them. And these guys sit in stolen Palestinian homes with their big screen TVs with like Xbox controllers, and they're flying these drones around and just chasing Palestinians and shooting them using drones.
They're in trouble,
This
man.
drone technology is really going ahead in leaps and bounds. And
No trouble. They're just fucking.
people don't realize
They're killing Palestinians left and right, man.
the threat that this is creating and what this can be used for in the wrong hands. And it's really important that they do. And it's really gone to next levels. You know, they're actually harvesting trees with drones now, and they're chopping all the branches
Check this fucking just picks out a tree and lifts it right the fuck up like it's fucking butter.
off and chopping the tree down.
They got technology like this, man, and fucking people are homeless right now. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man.
Down, cutting the tree down, and actually taking the trunk off using drones.
It can lift a tree, but it can't lift me? Oh, yeah, I can. It's like watching a movie right there, man. That is crazy, dude. That's like watching a futuristic sci-fi movie right there, man. And there it is. But there's people homeless and they have no food. It makes no sense. You can do that. You can make that, but you can't feed your fellow man. You can't figure it out. Everything here is free. You can't figure it out. You're going to charge people to be alive. You got to fix that system. That's no way. That's a broken system. That'll never work. The first show of laser cannon. Laser obstacle remover. Obstacle remover.
Yeah, so perhaps
Laser obstacle remover. Obstacle. You got to get those obstacles. You know what I mean? Those goddamn obstacles are everywhere. You know?
Yeah, so perhaps this is what we're seeing with these fires. I mean, who knows, folks? I saw an interesting interview the other day on X, and I don't know whether it's a setup or what, but if it isn't, I don't know. It's a kind of an interesting off-the-cuff comment.
Yoni. Yeah? Yoni. It's Israeli. It's Israeli. Yeah. Anti-Semitism is rising. It is. It is. True. So give them a specific reason to like you or Jewish people. We're great. We're great. We have a space laser. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Space laser. If you don't like us, just make sure to watch the forests nearby.
Okay. If you don't like us, we have a space laser, and the forest near you, we're going to set it on fire. That's the threat this fucking little fucking pedophile dick rider just said. He just threatened the world with, we're going to light the forest near you on fire if you don't like us. We're great. Why should anybody like you? We're great. We have a space laser. If you don't like us, we'll set you on fire. So you just like us. Can't think of a reason to like us, but if you don't, we'll set you on fire. So yeah, again, this is a mentally ill little pedophile dick sucking retard.
What? I don't know what
Little dick up his ass every day.
that means in the forest nearby.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Like I said, I don't know whether that is staged or not. But hey, I'll just share anyway, and you can make your own mind up. I still haven't quite made mine up. But people don't realize how much this technology, this use of cell phones, all this stuff is being used against you. Even with targeting drones. Most of this, if it isn't just being done random line of sight, then it's being done through tracking people by their cell phone signals and their earphones, their Wi-Fi.
Tracking people by their cellular phone signals.
AirPods or whatever they're called. These things give out a Wi-Fi beep every 30 seconds or so as well. So,
By the way, Tom, I just received those, what do you call it, headphones today things in the mail.
same as your cell phone.
I don't even know what they do yet. I got to check it out.
All this stuff is used to track and trace you. And what's happening now in Australia, I think in Western Australia, which is a blatant police state, is they can now clone your phone at a traffic stop.
So this device makes a complete clone of your phone, copying your contacts, messages, your photos, all of your system files, even things that you've deleted, and it does it in minutes. And soon the Australian police will be able to do this to you at a traffic stop. On Friday, the New South Wales Minns government actually introduced legislation that would give police effectively unfettered powers, including at roadside stops, to use military-grade Israeli-built mobile phone spyware, universally known as a universal forensic extraction device, widely used by ICE and border security agents in the US and around the world. And if this passes, other states in Australia are likely going to follow. So this is how it works. Police basically stop you at a traffic stop, request your phone, which you must give without a warrant, and force you to unlock the device to do the extraction. But don't fret, if you refuse to give your face or your PIN, they can still use the same software to brute force your PIN, even up to 6 digits. And once they have it, it takes only a few minutes for police to actually select your phone type, the version of your operating system, and undertake complete extraction, which takes your contacts, photos, messages, everything that's encrypted, because it makes your phone basically accessible, because it's a complete clone of your phone. So it allows police to basically browse it like a real-time device. So the tool is not new. It's been used for decades by police, border security, but for cases where there's a murder or a kidnapper or mobile forensics is needed for a major crime to extract everything from the phone. But now New South Wales police want the power to do this at a traffic stop. And wait, I'm not finished. The legislation will actually allow police to take unredacted images from toll road cameras and add them to the National Facial Recognition Database. And it also expands the digital evidence access order, so a device can actually be searched without a warrant or a crime scene, and it overrides the common law protection against self-incrimination, which is insane.
There's such a huge abuse of power.
Wow.
And if you are doing everything,
Folks, you have a group, a gang of mentally ill retards that believe they have the right to rule over us all in the world and make decisions for us, rule over us, and mass surveil us like we're children in a prison, an open-air prison, guilty before proven innocent. I will kill every one of you fucks in government I can get my hands on. Understand that. Like
on your cell phone, or your surfing activity, or your internet activity, all this sort of stuff.
Everybody in government right now needs to be hung for this. This is automatic hangings for everybody around the world. Every government around the world needs to be rounded up and executed right now. Every government does this shit and will do this shit. They all got to die for this. They can't be here. Y'all can't be here. You got to die. We're going to kill you. I will kill every one of you motherfuckers. And if I miss one of you, I'm going to get you on the other side. I'm going to torture your soul for all eternity, motherfucker. You will never get away. Justice will find you. I will hunt you down in every dimension if that's what it will take.
Stuff all on a cell phone. Then because they always get you to identify yourself and your name and your birthday and all this sort of stuff with any type of new SIM card, they can trace this back. Once they get hold of one of your phones and they get hold of your biometrics, they can trace this back through every number you ever had, all of your photos, way back to like MySpace and all this sort of stuff. They can get your entire internet history. There's ways of running a computer and
God damn, I remember when my one roommate had MySpace. He was so into that shit. And that was way at the beginning when internet was just kind of like coming into fruition. It's crazy.
not signing on and not being on, like, what is it? OneDrive and all this sort of stuff. Like OneDrive is essentially malware.
Yeah, I totally underestimated the internet and the YouTube, the power of YouTube at the beginning. I for a decade, I should have been using it more. I kind of wanted to live outside the internet. I knew it was, you know, I just wanted to live like the real world, and I did, you know, and it was worth it. But I should have been in the internet more. The YouTube would 10 years sooner, at least 50. Yeah, way more than I like get into it like I did. You know what I mean?
Which will
I knew it was there, but I didn't utilize that shit.
allow
At the beginning, I should have.
you to
It wasn't the same either back then.
store only so much stuff on your computer, because it will mirror everything on your computer on OneDrive so that you can access all your stuff everywhere around the world. No, it isn't. So they've got clones of all your stuff. And once your little drive there is filled up, they'll ask you to buy more space on it. And if you don't, they'll delete the files on there so you can fit new stuff on. And when they delete the files that are stored online on the cloud on one drive, they also delete them from your hard drive. So it's essentially malware. So I'm not on OneDrive, I'm not signed into Google, I'm not signed into Microsoft or any of that sort of stuff, because I don't want them to have clones of all of my things, and I have not linked my cell phone to my computer. You know, I'd use my cell phone simply to download airline tickets, and that link comes from an email. So none of my devices are linked up, and I don't ever go online using a cell phone. But yeah, they're now cloning people's cell phones in
God damn, look at that shit.
Australia.
It's called art.
And it's pretty freaky. That's why you shouldn't have these things. You got to step away from all of that tech. And why would you be doing any of this anyway? I mean, these people are criminals. They're criminals. Why are you giving them all your information? It isn't a matter of you having nothing to hide. It's a matter of them having everything to hide and them wanting to.
Yeah, like only a fucking creep show pedophile pervert would want to mass surveil the public, man. Don't get it twisted. These are criminal, psychopathic, pedophilic motherfuckers.
To know who is talking about them. That's why they want access to all your stuff. It isn't for convenience for you, and it isn't a matter of if you've got nothing to hide, then you've got nothing to fear. Same goes for them. If they've got nothing to hide, then they have nothing to fear with us having privacy. Problem is they have a hell of a lot to hide. All the Epstein files, all this shit that has come out about the elite, stuff we've been saying for years and stuff that's absolutely true. You know, the world's run by criminals, folks. It's run by criminals. These people torture, rape, kill, eat children, create all
They even eat they eat humans.
these unnecessary wars, which are all about just
They're incredibly Luciferian and satanic.
killing people, not defending anybody against anything. They haven't gone into Iran to defend the place or to free the people or anything. They're not in there to stop them getting a nuclear weapon. I mean, it keeps changing all the time why they're in there. Now they're in there to try to get them to force to open the Straits of Hormuz, which were open before they went in there. I mean, it's freaking nuts. Like I said, Trump's just a moron. He's an evil man. He had evil parents and he just does evil things. He's profited so intensely out of all this, written legislation or executive orders exempting himself and his entire family from auditing for the rest of their life, like for eternity. So it's just ridiculous. I don't know how anybody is buying.
It's like a mob criminal, a mob family from the mob is in the fucking running the shit.
It's like it's not human.
Take this extremely seriously, as we have been for the last.
Oh, he's talking about her. Yeah, she don't look human, but whatever. Who gives a shit?
Year and a half, and more of the presidency. At the NIH,
looks like a robot for sure.
The
looks like a robot. That looks fake as shit.
What we've done is we have established the Autism Data Science Initiative.
Yeah, that's absolutely weird looking in the face. I don't know what's going on here. I have to look at the creepy
initiative, which started almost a year, actually more than a year ago, where we funded a.
Don't wear makeup like that, yo.
Dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is.
Oh, it makes you look like a robot. Yeah.
Nice. It's a complicated biological phenomenon. Wow. It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have, as the secretary said, genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why.
Wow, no, I got the eyes aren't contacting anything.
I mean, she just doesn't look human at all.
Oh,
that's really, really strange.
That is creep show.
I wonder how many of these people are robots. Maybe she's just being affected by the jab. There has been all sorts of mood swings from.
Yeah, a lot of people are losing it because they took the fucking vaccine, and it may not have killed them physically, but they're not the same people anymore. Different personalities now. All these people that got vaccinated, they're basically just guinea pigs of big pharma and the depopulation program.
People who've taken the jab
of the elites that want to kill them.
Jab, and people are still dropping off like flies. But actually, people have been noticing that moods are changing with people, and people are wondering whether the graphene in people is being activated.
People sure are moody lately, aren't they? Emotions all over the place. It even seems like
it's what happens when they're broke and the system's rigged against them, and now they're homeless and nothing goes their way. Okay, that's what happens. It has nothing to do with this shit. But people who did the vaccine have changed their personalities, have changed.
Some people are completely losing their minds. It's all over the place. It's almost like people's mood changes with the weather. It's weird. But anyway, I don't know who remembers, but a few videos back, I showed you guys the patent for nervous system manipulation through monitors, screens. Whether you're standing in front of it, monitors,
electromagnetic field from monitors. Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors, or AKA televisions.
Whether you're standing in front of it, close to it, or looking at it, the flickering of light or images on screens can mess with your nervous system and cause dizziness.
See, I use a big, huge screen TV that sucks a bunch of power because that's the only TV I got. And it's nice, high quality of life. But I stick my laptops closed and I just connect it with an HDMI cable, 1080p or whatever it is. And it's not a monitor. It's technically a TV. But yeah, they're fucking with you know, everybody through the TVs with the electromagnetic fields.
Is calmness and unease.
And whatnot, and flickering and all kinds of shit. They got patents on all kinds of shit. It's bullshit, really.
And I also showed you that the man that holds these patents is a ghost. You can't even find a picture of him. That man is also the sole owner of Laguna Research Laboratory in California. Well, see, with that laboratory is where things get really interesting, especially since this laboratory has been receiving award money and funding from the Department of War, specifically DARPA, since 1983. You would think that
because it's run by Israel.
a lab that was funded by the Department of War, working on things like nervous system manipulation at 3015 Rainbow Glen, would look a little more secure. Makes me wonder what's underneath it. But anyway, when you get into some of these awards and the patents coming out of Laguna, it starts to paint a picture. We have the electromagnetic fields for monitors that I already showed you. Here's a patent for the same thing, but remotely and using magnets to manipulate people's nervous system from several hundred meters away. Now, here's a patent for manipulating the nervous system using pulsating cooling to the skin. They were able to cause relaxation, sleepiness, toxic smile, and a knot in people's stomachs just from cooling the skin. People's stomachs.
Sexual excitement, depending on the precise frequency used as well. Hey, I just exude that frequency. Hey.
Just from cooling the skin. Interesting. Now, here's a patent for the same thing, but using heat pulses. They're able to cause sleepiness, drowsiness, sudden loose stool, or sexual excitement. So you're able to make people have an accident.
You can make people take a shit
and get aroused just from heat. So just to run that back, these patents are saying the potential to be able to manipulate your nervous system in any way, shape, or form can come from flashing light, flashing images, cooling and heating of the skin. I want you to keep that in mind. And let me show you some more patents from the same place. This is a patent for a bipolar fog abatement system. This is a way of using moisture and fog in the air over places like airports and Air Force bases. It basically uses the fog and the moisture in the air, charges it, and creates a invisible barrier so you can't see what's going on below. Basically charging the water and the fog in the air and creating an invisible force field. And these next two patents are something you really need to pay attention to. This was actually an award from the Department of Health and Human Services. This one's for developing a generator for therapeutic aerosols suitable for adults, infants, and children. And then the weirdest one of all. This one's from the DOW, and it's for a seawater spray nozzle. If you're confused by that, there's a system where you use aerosols and seawater to make a form of geoengineering called cloud whitening.
That roar is not coming from a snow machine. Instead, the plume you see are tiny aerosol particles. It's the first technology in the country to test ways to brighten clouds in an effort to cool the globe.
So, this lab holds the patents for technology that could use flickering images, frequency, heating, and cooling to manipulate the nervous system. And then they have the patent to charge water particles in the air, distribute aerosols as well as seawater, which those aerosols in salt water can also be charged electrically. You know what? I think I figured out why people's moods seem to change with the weather. What do y'all think? Stay safe.
Who knows, folks? There's every possibility. Perhaps they're just doing it with frequencies. Perhaps it's just, I don't know, this thing that happens. But things are just strange lately. Who knows, folks? Maybe there's some truth in it. I don't know. Maybe it's moon cycles, you know, full moons and things. The lunar cycle, which is, of course, where the word lunatic comes from. Oh, look, turtle shell. Turtle.
Oh, yeah. He goes full retard, man. How's everybody doing in the chat there over here? Over here. Oh my God, open the page, please. How long does it take? How long does it fucking take? Oh my fucking God. Oh, this is good right there. Oh, I got one. Got one. When was that? Oh, yeah. Oh, we gotta watch that. Oh, yeah. Wow. Boy, I tell you what. I'm gonna have to switch over out of the Jenny here. Uh-oh. Even Jon Stewart can figure this shit out. It's amazing. Folks, we are going to end up going over time. Damn it. Let's see.
Folks, how many times have you heard me say the phrase, this is the most corrupt thing Donald Trump has ever done? Probably dozens of times at this point. And yet, time only moves forward. One day gives way to another. And Donald Trump does something even more corrupt on Wednesday.
By the way, this is the most corrupt shit I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. Trump is allowed to start his own bank now? Are you kidding me? Watch this shit. Approval to launch a bank.
Then he did on
the criminal Trump family, the criminal family known as the Trump family.
Tuesday. And so here we have yet another contender for the most corrupt thing that Donald Trump has ever done. As the Wall Street Journal has reported and the world is reacting to in seismic ways, Trump's family's World Liberty Financial gets preliminary approval to launch a bank. A bank. The Trump administration just approved the vehicle for Trump's cryptocurrency to become a bank. Wow. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency gives the flagship crypto venture a conditional approval to be a trust bank. When I tell you that everybody's reacting to this, Elizabeth Warren says this is the most brazen act of self-dealing our financial system has ever seen. I'm introducing a bill to stop this kind of unprecedented corruption. And I mean, we are going to get into...
Oh, I bet you are, you stupid fucking cunt traitor to humanity, bitch. Die. God, what a fucking traitor. Fucking don't believe a word out of that fucking bitch. And she's pretending to be Native American, too. What a fucking... Unbelievable.
The stunning response to this, but we have to dive into the particulars. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please...
Shut up. You just shit your face. Shit the bed. I mean, that's all we need to know. We don't want the details. I really don't want the details.
Not mention that we have internet. We've had president after president not mention that we have international organizations and international banks on U.S. soil that the United States government or intelligence or anyone has no jurisdiction over at all. And that is a very, very big problem in a country that's supposed to be a constitutional republic.
We got a special guest with us. Fan favorite, Mel K is here. She spent 20 years in media, film, investigative journalism in Hollywood before moving to New York to launch her podcast, The Mel K Show. The show addresses issues of one world government, increased surveillance, and the ongoing effort to increase centralized control over our lives. Boy, we've all experienced that, haven't we? Her latest book, here's her latest book. It's entitled Infiltration Instead of Invasion, America Betrayed, 1944 to 1954. Welcome back to the show, my buddy, Mel K. Hey, Mel, how are you?
Hey, I'm so excited to be back with you. Thank you for having me.
So this book, it's a great book because it tells people about, we talk about on this show, your vote doesn't matter. There's people that the people in Congress actually are middle managers. They work for, and so your book kind of outlines the beginning of all that right after World War II, right? Tell people, what do you want people to know about your book?
Well, I want people to know that we, the people of the United States, have essentially been lied to about everything since World War II, if not before, but particularly after World War II. There was a lot of people would say that Switzerland was neutral. I am here to say Switzerland was not neutral in any way, shape, or form. And what was going on during World War II, even while people are still fighting, is a international, supranational architecture was built and then protected from the people, not just from the United States, but all people. And it runs above our nations, and it still is intact today. And that is really what the biggest problem is that power, particularly in the constitutional republic, left the hands of the people. And by 1953, I think it's never come back.
So it's very similar, and I'll let you get more into it, but it's very similar to how in the United States, there's the deep state, the blob, and it doesn't matter who you vote for. And I remember when Trump got elected the first time, people at the FBI and the CIA would say they would go, yeah, we're going to be here through many presidents. It doesn't matter who's president. And so that's when you realize they didn't work for the president. And if they don't, who do they work for? right? Well,
Right.
they work for the deep state, the blob. And then there's the people like the WEF. Then there's the billionaire class. Those are, so that's why your vote really, and then the Princeton study proved that we don't live in a democracy. But your book really kind of, it shows you the origins of this right after World War II with the Bretton Woods and with the creation of the IMF and the CIA. And so it's all about, so go ahead, tell people more about that.
But it's also a specific group of people. These people are not well known to the American citizens, and that is by design. But what we do need to look at is that even before the war was over, a lot of things were planned for the post-war world by international bankers and international lawyers, and they created the global public-private.
By the way, the international bankers are the ones who started the scam called the Federal Reserve, which is a hidden tax on your money, the money you use, and they have a monopoly on that. And
private partnership, and the entire, what I believe is the intelligence apparatus that is global. I don't believe the CIA was created to protect the United States of America.
So the same group, the reason you're going through inflation right now is because of this same group that started intelligence, the CIA, all that. They're the banksters. They created the Federal Reserve, and they created the intelligence to protect them and the Federal Reserve and their power. And so you have the same group, the Federal Reserve, creating money out of thin air. You have all your money being inflated, your hard earned labor being devalued by them by design. You're a debt slave. No, you're a debt slave. They have turned you into a debt slave. These pedophile, criminal, international banksters. Okay, we'll go out. Go.
I believe it was created to protect the international banking cartel above nations from us. And I will tell you right now, it was very disappointing to go through these documents. And that's what I put in the book. A 17-year-old or an 89-year-old could read my book and see the real documents of how this happened one after another and how they created this. Even before the end of the war, we had Bretton Woods. You bring up Bretton Woods. That's where they created the IMF and the World Bank. Well, 44 nations were there. It was a week after D-Day. We hadn't even used the bomb yet. And they're creating a post-war world that is above nations. They called it continuity, but really it doesn't matter who wins elections anymore. We win always.
Cool. That is 100. You know, it's like we had Catherine Austin Fitz on the show, and she talked about the Bank of International Settlements, which was also created during this time. Tell people about that.
Yeah, it's important that people understand what the Bank of International Settlements is and the unique powers it gave itself.
This whole video, good stuff. Good on these two. Good on Jimmy and Mel.
So the Bank of International Settlements was created after World War I, supposedly to pay reparations in Europe from Germany. Well, the origins of World War I, we don't have to get into, but I do believe that the model of the international banks consolidating power and money after war during Reconstruction got started then. What happened at that time, the Bank of International Settlements, first of all, people should know, was run by an American. His name was McKittrick, and that is in Basel, Switzerland. But around that table was also the bankers of Germany, the bankers of England, the bankers of multiple countries deciding what the world would look like. And as you know, I'm sure your audience knows, the Dulles brothers both were in that world. And what you need to know about the Dulles brothers, besides that they were born to do this, is that they were both Wall Street lawyers. A lot of people don't know that our entire State Department and intelligence apparatus was actually created by two Wall Street lawyers and a handful of other people that would go in and out of all different places from the Council.
Why is this world so pathetic and the people in it?
Foreign Relations to the World Bank to the CIA to the back to the Council of Foreign Relations, and they don't hide it. And what was going on, honestly, was Sullivan and Cromwell, where the Dulles brothers worked on Wall Street, the biggest firm in the world, essentially created international banking and multinational corporations. And the big one at the time during the first, after the First World War that they were representing, and this is John.
All I see here is just total savage predatory behavior and an unknowing, naive population just have no idea. Going to church, naive, retard population having no idea the predator's about to eat them alive. And it's wild. The predators, the international banksters, intelligence, government, all of the control.
On Foster Dulles was Standard Oil of New Jersey in their conglomeration and their cooperation with IG Farben in Germany. And essentially, the Rockefellers that owned Standard Oil invested millions and millions of dollars in rebuilding Germany's industry and sharing patents with IG Farben, the most powerful industrial business in Germany at the time. Many people know IG Farben also had a concentration camp of their own on Auschwitz, where they created synthetic rubber with patents that were shared with the Rockefellers. So a lot happened there. That was also the time where Prescott Bush got caught doing business with Nazi bankers.
There you go. I don't bring that up enough either.
Yes.
Yes. So you have to look at this. So the Bank of International Settlements, at some point, Germany got powerful enough again by design that they decided they're not going to pay reparations. Instead, they're going to use the Bank of International Settlements to trade money. And I'm talking about, 60 million people were affected by World War II, looted, laundered, gold stolen, people sent to concentration camps. Well, that didn't stop the Bank of International Settlements from doing business with both the Nazi Bank, the Bank of England, the Wall Street banks, particularly Chase. And
it's madness. It's madness. Listen to this shit. We're talking zero morals, zero ethics. We're talking total criminals worldwide, just corrupt.
What happened at that point is that they had Bretton Woods and they decided
no morals, no ethics.
To end the Bank of
no honor. They got no fucking honor. It's pathetic. They're not men. If you don't have honor, you're not a man.
Of International Settlements.
Not a man. If you don't have fucking honor, you're not a man.
But the Bank of International,
meaning my word is my fucking bond. If I say I'm gonna fucking be there at 4 o'clock, I'm gonna fucking be there, or I'm fucking dead.
National Settlements is so powerful that it never ended, even though they voted to end it. And worse than that, the Dulles brothers, with their lawfare at the time, they gave the Bank of International Settlements, they put something in called the International Organization Immunity Act of 1945, which protect the Bank of International Settlements from any audits, from any investigations, from any legal, for the people or the Act settlements. They put something in called the International Organization Immunity Act of 1945.
So they put in a convenient immunity act for themselves, kind of like Trump just did for his family. Again, these criminals, rules for thee, but not for me. They all got to die for this. Everybody in government, I don't know why they're not dead. You're all a bunch of pansies. You're all coward slaves. You love pedophile dick in your ass and love being rolled by pedophiles.
Which protect the Bank of International Settlements from any audits, from any investigations, from any legal, for the people or the bank, any kind of legal, jeopardy. And then basically gave them sovereign immunity in Switzerland. And here's the craziest part. Then they accepted that the International Organization Immunity Act would also give all of those immunities to the IMF, the World Bank, and 63 other banks. That is still in place today. Today in America, we have the.
Listen to what she just said and let that sink in. All of them are immune. All of them. They just give everybody, all their own kind, pedophile kind, a blank check.
The IMF and the World Bank in Washington, D.C., and many other development banks in America that the United States of America has
blank check of immunity,
zero jurisdiction over on our own soil. And then, of course, John Foster Dulles goes on to help draft the United.
And they all got to die for this on our own soil. You're on our soil. We're just going to kill you. We don't need it to, any rules.
Nations entire treaty, which is a joke.
We don't need to make any new rules, no laws, nothing. We're just going to kill you. There's that red tape shit. We don't play that shit.
In San Francisco. And guess what? They extend the International Organization Immunity Act to the United Nations and 76 other tentacles of the United Nations to this day. That act is still there, and we've had president after president not mention that we have international organizations and international banks on U.S. soil that the United States government or intelligence or anyone.
So you allow a bunch of criminals to run around, retards, and what do you think is going to happen? You're so fucking dumb, people in the public.
One has no jurisdiction over at all. And that is a very, very big problem in a country that's supposed to be a constitutional republic.
So if you, I mean, that you really, it's my kind of, first of all, it was mind blowing reading to go like, well, how come I'm learning? How come it took Mel K? How come it took till 2026? How come people haven't put this stuff together before? I mean, I've heard people talk about the IMF and I'm talking.
Dude, his eye is getting worse on the left here. It's getting worse all the time here.
About the we've had Catherine Austin. First time I ever heard of the Bank of International Settlements was just this year, and stuff. And so I'm just and so this whole idea of it really does make you feel. Do you really feel that voting really doesn't matter? Because this is kind of the groundwork for how your vote doesn't matter. They wanted to make a super government above the kind of governments you're allowed to vote for, and even to have even your own. You could have a flag in your government and everything, but we are the, and so now it's like the WEF and the Bilderbergs. We run things, and you can have your little elections, and you can have your thing, but we're going to really decide how things happen. That's really, and it all started even before, as you point out, even before the end of World War II. They were already figuring this stuff out.
It's crazy. This is crazy.
Right, exactly. And that's
dumb. We're talking generation after generation shitting the bed and being complete retards here. Multiple generational retards we're talking about here, just letting themselves being taken over by this predatory class, the predator class, and they're the prey class. They're the prey. All you retards in the public, you're prey. You're just a prey item to the small predator class above you. You're just cannon fodder, you idiots. That's all you are, unless you wake up and become more than that.
That's the disturbing part. And then it gets so much worse, because the worst part is that while they're creating all of this, and I'm saying it's the Nazi industrialists and bankers, it's the Bank of England and the City of London, it's our Wall Street bankers, and then these.
It's the Federal Reserve, you dumb fuck.
Dulles Brothers, Sullivan, and Cromwell lawyers. The next
dumb dude, the Federal Reserve.
Thing they do is that they hatch the idea.
The Federal Reserve is how you can have any banks, dumb fucks. You can't have any of these banks if it weren't for the Federal Reserve granting them. Just forget it.
For the CIA, and essentially the CIA was created.
Yeah, government is nothing more than a game of hide and seek or a game of tag with your friends, and you're all just making up the rules in your game. And we're not playing your fucking pedophile game that's rigged against us. I'll kill every one of you fucking motherfuckers in government.
Created in this same time period, and I believe not only the CIA and MI6, but the Five Eyes Nations was also created in this period. It is my belief that the Five Eyes Nations and the entire apparatus of the CIA was created to protect the architecture that they were creating for the international banking cartel and the endless war for profit global public-private partnership of which we live under today. And frankly, then
she's nailing it.
It was a one-page document that created the CIA. It also created the National Security Council and the Department of Defense and a whole bunch of stuff. One page. And the craziest part is
illegal criminal alphabet agencies just basically claimed authority over the public. Just claimed authority. We're going to tell you what to do now. Without non-elected everything, and everybody's none the wiser. They're so dumb.
3 presidents in
3 people don't have an authority. If you have an authority over you, that means you're being ruled.
In a 3-year period, warned that the CIA had gone rogue. First, it was JFK, which is what my book's based on.
Listen to that again.
Then, the craziest part is 3 presidents in a 3-year period warned that the CIA had gone rogue. First, it was JFK, which is what my book's warned. And the craziest part is 3 presidents in a 3-year period warned that the CIA part is 3 presidents in a 3-year period warned that the CIA had gone rogue. Presidents in a 3-year period warned that the CIA had gone rogue. First, it was JFK, which is what my book's based on. Then, as you know, Eisenhower on his way out said the banks and the military-industrial complex are a real problem. Then Truman, who signed the Alan Dulles written CIA entire
who was a total fucking traitor to humanity,
manifesto, he said on his deathbed, I think in 1963, that had he known what the CIA would become, how sinister, and that it would be running its own foreign policy and covert operations, he never would have created it. And yet those 3 men all warned us in covert operations, he never would have created it. And yet those running its own foreign policy and covert operations, he never would have created it. And yet those 3 men all warned us. And to this day, no one's done anything about it. They've gotten more powerful. And many of the men in there, you know, they promote themselves. We know the Warren Commission was filled with people involved, but that has become the model. The model is that when the government or the intelligence agencies do something,
you got to have your government, your dumb retard puppet government, you have to have them come out and take away all the funding and announce them that they have no more power. All of the intelligence agencies are now been decommissioned. They have no more power or authority at all. That's their only hope, or everybody's really only hope. And then that way you can have everybody publicly known these motherfuckers are done. We're not going to let them roll over us anymore. They don't get paid and they don't get the power or the privilege or the authority. It's all taken away because you don't give it to them. You don't play their game. You don't play their game of hide and seek and tag and fuck the fag and all this shit, dude. Y'all are a bunch of fucking retards playing somebody else's rigged game.
Something that is against the people of the country or foreign nations like that are sovereign, and you go and you infiltrate them through the NED or USAID, then you know what happens next is they put themselves on the commission to investigate it. So nothing has ever been truly transparent, and no accountability has ever been had since, because they created the model to.
There's no accountability, no justice. The people are in a trap, a prison, ruled by a bunch of pedophile intelligence agencies that are sex trafficking children.
Protect themselves.
Yeah, so like what you're talking about is with JFK's assassination, then they have the Warren Commission supposed to investigate it, and then they fill the Warren Commission with people from the CIA. And wasn't Dulles, wasn't he like the liaison with the for the press? With the so and then of course Gerald Ford gets to be president because he was a good boy on the Warren Commission.
Exactly. And you know, Earl Warren himself, but there was also somebody named John McCloy that Americans don't know anything about. And this guy was so instrumental in all of this. There's a book, a great book called The Wise Men, and it's about the guys during that time that created this. And each one of them had some kind of node, which also included incorporating the Nazis into our country. McCloy was the guy who from America that went to denazify Germany after World War II. Well, that's not what he did. If you didn't know, what they did was not just Operation Paperclip, which a lot of people know about from the great Annie Jacobson's book. And that was the 1,600 scientists that were taken to the United States with new names, new backgrounds. Their whole family came. Their totalitarian ideology came with them, but nobody cared about that. But what people don't know is that it wasn't just scientists. What they also brought over and was okayed. And you know what? They made this bargain, apparently, that it was morally okay to incorporate Nazis into American intelligence and American academia and NGOs, because if we didn't, then Russia would. Just like now, if we don't do it, then China will.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Anyway, folks, how y'all doing? How y'all doing today? I got to go turn the generator off. I guess I'm just going to call it a day, man. Not many people showing up, not many people commenting. So, you know, I get it. It's all good. I'll let you guys do your thing. But I appreciate you guys and love you. Thank you for being here. We'll do another live stream real soon. If you like it, share it, all that shit. Appreciate you guys very much. Please like, share, subscribe. Much love. I love you all.